Boom. Hey, what's up, guys? Malt here, and we're back with some more Great Ace Attorney 2 Reserve. Final chapter, by the way. Final chapter. Okay. So, present a person, bro. That's not even a thing we're doing right now. Let me. I don't know if everyone's on the same page or not. Okay. So I'm gonna look at the history books. Okay, I'm gonna look at the history books. All right, check this out. Check this out. We got the sword in the record. Nice. Oh, that doesn't help. Okay, basically they're trying to figure out if Jigoku is dead or not, because he's been missing for a day, for 24 hours with no contact with anybody. So, he might be dead. And right before, it's already been 15 minutes and you're already on that I'ma head out vibe? Nah, like you brought this upon yourself by giving me that weird thing that I just said on stream. Okay, so look, right before I ended stream, it was basically... Okay, I feel something. If something awful has happened to Judge Jigoku, then I feel that as though things will only spiral further and further out of control. I felt the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning, that strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do. But wait, we're out of options. And then Susato's like, wait, there's one last hand we can play, or rather, one last ear. Of course, the little Mr. Sholmes doll Iris gave us. And then there was a flashback, and it was like, for some reason you completely ran out of options in the trial today, then you can pull this little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can. And I was like, perhaps now is the time. So you know what? I ran out of options. Except that I have these two options in front of me, but I ran out. Okay? So, you know what? I really just randomly just had a philosophical thought. If someone told you to only press this button if you had no more options, technically you could never press it, right? Because then when you get to that point, then you still have the option of pressing it or not. That means you still have an option. Anyways. Alright. No more stalling. No more stalling, guys. Alright, let's do this. It's time to pull out. Wait. I forgot we even have that. We have that sound command. Hold on, what is it?
It's time to pull out.
There we go. Okay. Here goes then. I'm going to do it.
Boring.
Good luck, Miss Naruto. No looking back. Heave! Ow! Scream sounded like Mr. Sholmes. Wait. Oh my god, it's a voodoo doll. Mr. Sholmes, where are you? Here, my dear fellow, here. What? It's the felt doll talking. Pull the ears again, Mr. Naruto, as hard as you can. Alright then, I'll put all my strength into it. Heave! Ow! Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off. It's a walkie-talkie? Oh. Mr. Sholmes, where are you? Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin area of the SS Grouse. The SS Grouse? She left Dover last night after the final pieces of cargo were loaded. Well, there goes another one of my posters. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour. You've taken a ship to France? Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we've left Baker Street, last night we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port. In order to board this vessel in time. So, you mean you'd already worked it out? Susato thinks pulling the ear is boring. I noticed the timing on that one. But the steamship was where everything really took place. Miss Naruto, pray, what is my name? What? Say my name! Herlock Sholmes, world-famous great detective. Recited to perfection, well done. You're a genius, Mr. Sholmes, that's the only word for it. Well, we're really pulling his ear right now. Ow, 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 ow. Mr. Sato, gently with this genius's ear, please. Oh my, I'm ever so sorry. If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikotoba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Grouse at Scotland Yard yesterday when we examined the notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. Ah ha 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 ha! But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert that fact. I merely had our court-bound companions utter my name. Yes, you did, didn't you? We've just entered a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if we're unable to present any new leads then, I'm afraid to say... Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt that we shall have some welcome news before you within the half hour. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That would be wonderful. Until later, then. Yes, you'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch first. Ow, 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 ow. I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in that mindless fashion. Whatever that was the idea behind making a receiver operate in that way in the first place, Sholmes. Why the deuce would I know? It's Iris's invention, not mine. True. It's a very high-tech invention for the 1800s, though. Gotta say. Whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes, we have but half that now before the grouse puts to the sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in the Naples before long. There are times, Mikotoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let's begin. This looks similar. Yo, first of all, what's up, Cookie? Second of all, this is Phoenix Wright, except it's not Phoenix Wright. It's the same game, though. It's Ace Attorney. It's like the origin stories of Phoenix Wright. Or at least Phoenix Wright's ancestor. Distant ancestor. How are you doing, man? Long time no see. First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. But I don't... Wait, am I playing as them? I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. Doing good, doing good. I'm on my way to try to beat this game this week, hopefully. We'll see. We'll see. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow. Wait, he grew his hair out? Why are you loitering here? Who are you? Or is he, like, related to that one guy? My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? Do you not recognize world-traveling great sailor Chicken Stroganoff? Did I not? I literally didn't realize his name was Wait. Oh wait, his brother's name is Beef Stroganoff, right? So he is related. Fucking Chicken Stroganoff, bro! Great detective? I don't think so. That was not the right voice. Do you see that, Mikotoba? On his arm? It would appear that this man is a devoted fellow of mine. Goodness me, is that a tattoo? That says Sholmes? I must say, whilst the adoration is flattering naturally, it does leave me a little cold. What are you talking about? Leave now! How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by name and not by appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman. Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikotoba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigo... I just realized I'm playing as Mikotoba. I just realized I'm playing as Mikotoba right now. What the fuck? We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigoku. There is no one with his name on board. But we know that he purchased a ticket for passage. Ah, you mean Eastern Man. He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk, he said something about emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? So Seishiro realized that we're after him, has he? His cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please. Why are these two after Seishiro? Sus, by the way? No, I have orders not to let even mouse inside. Mikotoba, be a good man and draw the sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so that he leaves the area. Doesn't great detective see that even sailors have ears both left and right? Curses! The plan is ruined! They really just said the plan in front of his face? You have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Sholmes. Forget it. Cabin door is locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside. Mikotoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock? Within a mere 5 seconds. So if you be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner, how could I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Good man. So, the game is afoot. Watch out, a mouse! This must be a mouse trap, I think. Perhaps I could distract the crewman's attention with this, somehow. Try it? Let's go. Choo choo! Wait. Damn, Mikotoba was actually Pikachu. That sounds like Big Mouse in Trap. Choo choo! I can't believe they really just said that canonically in the game. We have a perfect sound for that. I will bring a bucket of water later and put out of misery. Oh wow, he's gonna fucking drown the rat? Later? I don't like the sound of that. In any case, my dear fellow, that was quite unconvincing. Only Japanese mice make a chew sound. Oh really, Sholmes? And pray tell, what sound do Russian mice make? Pee pee. Naturally, though it also quite unconvincing, I readily admit. So, go ahead, Mikotoba, do a pee pee this time. You're really making me say this, huh, Sholmes? No, thank you. I'm sure I can come up with an alternative solution. Maybe there's something in the next room. It's in the first-class cabin, yet its door is completely unguarded. Empty as well. I had a quick look inside earlier. Though I confess, I didn't investigate the wardrobe. There may very well be a young Japanese fellow inside, perspiring merrily. If you're referring to Naruhodo, you should know very well that he's currently perspiring merrily in court. Does it not strike you, though, Mikotoba, that why the man stands guard only in front of his cabin when both are apparently vacant? It does, though. It does. What else do I do to distract this man? Oh, the alarm! Does it appear to be an alarm bell? All hell would break loose if that thing were to ring. The whole crew would know about it. Let's go! Here goes, then. Pardon me in advance. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-ling. You! What are you doing? If we are at sea, that would be a very bad problem. What's going on down there, Seaman Stroganov? I don't like that. I don't... Report at once! Sorry, sir. Nothing to report. It was just stupid trick. No, not by me. By world famous... No, as I told you. Now, Sholmes, now. Done. Not even 5 seconds, eh? Well, don't stand there gawping at my brilliance, Mikotoba. In we go. Oh, yes. Alright. We're in the SS Grouse. Something's definitely happening on here. Good gracious. It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. Am I about to do another deduction? Those clothes on the floor there, they're Seishiro's without question. Well, it seems that we are just a little too late. Yes, by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may very well be 2 hours worth of clues to find in here. But that burly crewman may return at any moment, Sholmes. Indeed he may. which makes this all the more thrilling. Okay. I don't really know what's happening. This is very confusing. There's a speaking tube here, look, though it's been stoppered with some sort of cloth. So the voices of the crewmen on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose. Or indeed, so that the voices in this cabin aren't heard elsewhere. Could something have happened in here that was for no one else's ears, do you think? Either that, or... it could be to prevent snakes from entering. It's really become a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? Quite the exquisite glass, I must say. See here how it's... Is something wrong, Sholmes? You suddenly trailed off. Ice, Mikotoba, ice! What opulence the first-class passengers enjoy. Chilled drinks. Pardon? Could it be that the steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? Well, it is a luxury liner, after all. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce as well as ice. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delights from all over the world. Suddenly, Mikotoba. The sight of you is making my mouth water. What? I haven't taken on the flavor of the food I ate, you know. What? What the hell kind of comment was that? That was weird. Alright. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they invented electricity in the 1800s. At least basic-ass electricity. Apparently the screen is a bit more green now. Wait, what? Wait, what? I'm confused. Huh? Anyways. And, this is the waste paper basket. Look, oops, I didn't mean to accidentally progress that. Indeed, then let us pry. I've discovered recently that I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' waste paper baskets. I sincerely hope only for your work. Oops, that was the wrong voice. I like Prage a lot. Here we have a noticed issue to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days ago? The night before we arrived in London, then. When I was still aboard myself. Following departure from the port of Dunkirk, all crew members are required to assemble to the main... Ah, yes. There was an evacuation drive. I couldn't even read that fast enough. I remember now. For our safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under watchful eye of the crew. So it was a welcome relief to have some privacy for once. Okay, that's good that I looked in the trash then. Alright, let's look at what this says. These are the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Additionally, there are severe punishments for stowing away in wardrobes and/or travel cases. I feel the rules have increased since I last read them. Probably just my imagination. What about the fact that they're not straight on the wall? Does that not strike you? You may be right. Perhaps just your imagination, though. A trifle. You know what I always say, Mikotoba. There is nothing important about trifles. It's probably just my imagination, but I think that might be slightly off. Alright. Who's in here? According to the report I was given, Naruhodo was concealing himself in Asogi's wardrobe. Indeed he was, and it was of a similar size to this one. Ah, you must climb inside yourself, my dear fellow. What? Whatever for? It was the site of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. You can experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. This will only take a moment. Really, Sholmes, surely you can't just tell me what you said. Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to reveal the stowaway murderer. I think I'll just read about it in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And also the pet rule, I'm pretty sure, is because of the whole snake thing. Wasn't there a snake? Pet snake? That did some snaky things? I don't really remember now. Or was it a cat? No, it was a snake, right? That's a very sizable trunk indeed. Seishiro is partial to all things large. Oh, the pet rule is always there? Alright, never mind. Never mind. I think I know what that emote is that you added, but the thing like half shows up and half doesn't. It's kind of weird. Because it's trying to overlap a Twitch default one. And a rather clumsy fellow if he'd failed to notice he'd left that behind. Perhaps he left it on purpose. It's lighter than you might think, but still a hindrance to a speedy escape. Pity. It's locked, so we can't look inside. Surely 5 seconds from now, the situation will be quite different, though. Sadly not. It has a 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in a morose enough mood to work through all the combinations at present. Dun, 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 dun. Sure, that would take a while. I think it works if you refresh the page, maybe? But it's kind of weird. The wall is slightly different color just here. Do you see it? Indeed, what you have observed arises when a frame has been hanging for some time is removed. Perhaps your friend is an art thief. Now there's a bold deduction worthy of a great detective, I'm sure. Oh, that's a smart thing to do, Chocobo. Okay, alright. Look at you? Alright. Anyways, hold on. Let me... Oh, I didn't mean progress text again. Let me just keep this open so I can refresh it whenever I need to. There. Now your new emotes will show up. I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Sholmes, don't you? I'm pretty sure that used to be there. This used to be there, so this is hiding something new, right? That outline on the wall. I feel as though I might have spotted something of a similar shape and size elsewhere. Uh-oh, this guy's bigger than the door. You are still here. Abel Seaman Stroganoff. Hello again. I was beginning to think you'd never materialize. You are waiting for me? Of course, I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. I was in trouble with Captain because of trick you played before. Poor innocent chicken. It's all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off now. Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow. But first, there is something that must be done. What are you talking about? Why, naturally, the debunking of your deceit and bearing of the truth. Kakoi? What? I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Joko has not yet left this vessel at all. And for another, my dear Seaman Stroganoff. Can they stop saying Seaman Stroganoff? You know exactly what the man is even as we speak, don't you? How? How can you... Good gracious, Holmes, you mean you've worked it out? All of it? It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, wait. Oh, was it always Mikotoba? Is that why Sholmes was like a one-man crew? That didn't work out? Because he always actually had Mikotoba help him with his deduction, just like how Naruhodo does. And that's why it works out again. Oh. I don't know why I never really had that clicked before. So, would you care to join me for a dance of my inimitable logic and reasoning? Nothing would please me more. What is this? We have minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Oh shit, look, it's the OGs! Mr. Shroganov, allow me to remind you of our earlier claim. You told us that the fucking music, though. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. Da! Is that what I said? Or was it ya? I don't remember. Sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there is something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it. What? Ah, yes. Of course. I see you've noted it too, Mikotoba. Then please do take the lead. What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago? Let's see. Oh my god, this is the first time I've seen their art. What the fuck? Let us see what the last 3 years have done to your observational skills then, Mikotoba. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Sholmes, not 3. Why, of course it has, quite. Now, all the clues in here are in this cabin are for your eyes to see. But as I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe the answers, and observe and the answers become clear. So impress me. I think I can manage that. You say the ice hasn't melted yet? Is that it? That's my deduction. Go! Oops, wrong button. Go! Oh shit, he said take that! Take that! God damn, this guy got some style going on. Holy shit! Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass. How curious, the ice shouldn't have melted despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. It would appear that the man that was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. With this well-chilled glass in hand, get your mind off the refreshment, Sholmes. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff? But why would Seishiro run from us? Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Grouse are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated from on your voyage from Japan? That's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door, and Seishiro was, yes, 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage. As I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jigoku had to hide. What traces? I know nothing about this. Ah, this is news to you, is it, Mr. Stroganoff? Sholmes, what exactly are you getting at? As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure I won't have escaped your notice. Something out of place in here. That's the key to this, Mikotoba. The remnants of the dark deed that took place in here are being masked by something quite incongruous. I must say I didn't even foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikotoba. No, quite, but life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we all well know. Now then, let us see if we can uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow. I'm guessing it's something to do with the missing mark on the wall.
Take that!
No! It wasn't that. I was wrong. Mikotoba, no games now were my words, were they not? Come, Sholmes, where's the fun in life without a little fooling around, You have another thought? Ah ha 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 ha! Quite right, you are! That was a close shave. I'd better rethink that before I'm the fool here. You must tilt your head to one side and listen carefully to the faint cries of the sea. Hear the evidence calling out for you to find it. Here I am, it cries. Well, your methods were never conventional, but you know I've always been willing to give them a try. Dear God, Mikotoba, open your eyes! It was a metaphorical listening I was suggesting. Ah. Alright, where's the ideas? What's going on here? What is out of place? You mean this? Am I talking about this? Because he didn't want people to hear him? About whatever the fuck he was talking about? That's the only other thing I can look at, really. Other than that being out of place, but alright.
Take that!
Also incorrect. Man, this guy's really out of practice, guys. Maybe Mikotoba's out of place. Alright. Can I observe things? Oh, is the bookshelf out of place? I don't feel like it is. Do I actually just say the rules of passage is out of place, not the mark? Or, Maybe it's the man himself. He's out of place. Clothes? Is it really the clothes? Is he wearing something weird here? Large trunk? I don't know if that really says anything. Can I talk about it before I present it? No, I can't. I just gotta present it immediately. There's no talking.
Take that!
It really what? It's because I picked the mark and not the rules, bro? Oh shit. That should have both worked, man. I'm just too many steps ahead because I'm too fucking smart. Damn. It's the rules of passage in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall as if they were put there in a hurry. Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded. Yes, I did already conclude that, Sholmes. That frame was originally over here. The shape and size are a perfect match. Ah, you're right. When did the frame move? Hardly the most observant of crewmen, are you, Mr. Stroganov? I would think your captain is quite justified in having reservations about your reliability. In Russian. Oh dear, that really seemed to touch a nerve. So, Mikotoba, why don't you try to lift a frame off the wall? A bullet wound? I mean, that looks like a bullet hole. What? Who has been shooting walls? I see, the projectile has been removed. Clearly the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Now then. Mr. Stroganov? Ugh. I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield said occupant. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I try to protect Eastern Stranger? So we're talking about the same man, I see. Good. Ugh. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reason why you're lying for the man. Yes, you've been told to keep up this pretense, as clearly shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes. Ah, my dear Mikotoba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study your subject from every angle. And I'm quite sure that you'll see it. In fact, I'll put a wager on it. So I'm to glare at the fellow from all sides. Well, I can certainly do that. I'm gonna guess it's the fucking mark on his arm. That's the first thing I thought of. Wait, money? Hush money! Never mind. Chunky arms, bro. I can literally present chunky arms. Tattoo. Scarf. I can't present his chunky ass fucking abs, bro.
Wow.
Body shaming. Alright, I'm gonna present his ass real quick.
Take that!
This is such a good song. This is such a good song. Holy shit. It's almost too obvious for words. Quite. The universal language of the world. Ass. Ah. And I'd wager that the Eastern fellow in question is Seishiro Jigoku, yes? God! So I presume you realize what this means. There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. And the way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice. But I believe you know, Mr. Stroganov. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this precise moment in time. Is he really in the trunk? How the fuck does people keep fitting in the most random spots in this game? As always, Mikotoba, in the matter of the deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally. Yes, I think you're onto something there, Sholmes. You found the chink in this burly fellow's armor. We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. The slightest flicker of the pupils, a minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, even that which is barely perceptible. You could hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man's turned his entire head. It's not exactly what you'd describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious. We shall let your tapping toes decide, my dear fellow. Alright, I guess.
Take that!
You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? The truth is, Seishiro Jigoku was unable to escape from the ship in time. He's just straight up staring at the whole time, yeah? And is at this very moment doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk. If he still has a breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously low on air. I imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it would be in everyone's best interests for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. But how can we? Are you forgetting about the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code. The combination lock can't be opened from the inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure. Of course. In short, before Jigoku would hit himself inside that trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. And I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Stroganov. 11037. Yeah, that's a very good 7-digit code. No, I know nothing about the combination code. Wait. Oh my god. It really is 11037. I'm such an idiot. How did I not see that? Fucking hell. I didn't notice until now. What is that? It's 5231045. God damn it, man. It's either a 2 or a 6. I don't really know. People kind of write those in both ways. Huh? Leon's Revenge. Hi, Pineapple Cat. Now, Mikotoba, would you do the honors and open the trunk? How on earth do you expect me? It's a 7-digit number, remember? Quickly now, we have little time. Alright, 2 or 6. Guys, 2 or 6. Wait, what did I say? Can anyone remind me what I just said? It was 5... Oops. 5... 2... Sholmes. I mean 6, sorry. Wait, there's no 6. It is a 2! Get fucked, Chocobo! There's literally no 6. No one loops their 2 like that. Bullshit. Bullshit. 31045. I've seen so many people write their 2s like that. Maybe it's a British-Canadian thing. It could be, actually. Okay.
Take that!
Boom. Because I know my my mom writes 2 like that, actually. Click! That did it! It's open! You had to meddle, didn't you? How is he gonna come out of that thing? How? Why is everyone in this game a crazy contortionist? How do they do that? I guess you would have been permanently stuck here if you were playing Chocobo. Because you'd be like, what is that number? That's clearly a 6. That's clearly a 6. Well, Eugen, you found me now. Seishiro. I was really hoping beyond doubt not to find you here, you know. But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it. No, quite. I just wish it were some other way. Well, are you ever going to introduce me? Ah, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Sholmes. I've read stories of many of your exploits. Excuse my manners, Sholmes. This is Mr. Jigoku, my old friend and traveling companion. The devil is in the details, Mikotoba. I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion, who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour. I see my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor. Well, Seishiro, are you going to explain all this? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you didn't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship. By the Reaper of the Bailey? Yes, I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind. And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when. They actually gave him beard physics to like curl with the damn suit. It's the judge. What did he do? He's so confused. He was prosecuted against by the Reaper and is still alive after 10 years. So the freaking Reaper of the Bailey tried to assassinate. They're trying to kill him because he's in range again. Basically, and if he was dead already, then things would have been really bad for my court case, where I'm trying to figure out who the Reaper is, actually, and trying to prove that it's not Van Zieks. It became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again. So you decided to flee the capital without saying a word to me about it. I'm afraid so. Yes, of course I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you. It's somewhat surprising, I must say. What is? Well, first-class cabins aboard luxury steamships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. So says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. Well, I don't care for your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket, and here I am. I've just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So you'd already purchased a return ticket before we even docked in Dover, had you? To prevent anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence, is that it? Eugen, I have nothing to say to you. Well, in a mere 5 minutes, the ship will set off on its onward voyage and not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once. You have no jurisdiction over my movements. We have this, Seishiro. Take it. What is it? It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be. You came prepared then, Eugen. Come on, let's go. How did they get the subpoena in like 5 seconds? We just sent that out. One moment. What is it, Sholmes? Inside Mr. Jigoku's trunk. I found this rather fascinating trinket. What is that, Seishiro? I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small component from something. But what? I have no idea. With the look on his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, just pocket it as a small souvenir of our brief sojourn in France. Dun, 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 dun. Well, young Naruto, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant. Well, that was a little cool little, more efficient than 21st century technology. I know, right? 3rd November, 12:10 p.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. We're back here, guys. Kazuma Sogi, I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie. But still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than you're saying. During the past 30 minutes while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained. We must accept the unfortunate conclusion. The Reaper has already done the deed. There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict.
Objection!
No, that's wrong.
Man, you sure sound like Chiaki, Ryunosuke. You sound kind of kawaii there, Ryunosuke. And when I was like reading the fucking text, it said no. In the moment the no showed up and his mouth opened, it said no. It confused the hell out of me for a second. I was like, wait, what's going on? Perfectly timed, by the way. No, the trial cannot... I mean, no, that's wrong. You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke, not a kawaii schoolgirl. Oh, my bad. And you should never know... And you should know never to presume. Bitch. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. And there can only be one conclusion. The accused is guilty. All relevant testimony far from it. There's still a crucial witness, from whom the court has yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible. The witness is already on his way, and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Seishiro Jigoku, the very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Judge Jigoku? You found him? Get fucked, bro. We're 5 steps ahead. But the investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest that Jigoku is already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? He was located in France during the recess, at the port of Dunkirk. Thanks to one of Mr. Herlock Sholmes' famous deductions. Herlock Sholmes. Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death. Because along with the prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness. Who can clarify exactly what happened aboard this SS Grouse on the 31st October? Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move education at this point. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. Dude, there's no way that thing's gonna stay looking like a unicorn at the end of this shit. It's gonna be like a fucking horse. Or a cat. In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side. No, my lord. No objections, my lord. We live to fight another day. By the skin of our teeth. It's gonna be a unicorn. It's gonna be a Korin! To be continued. In Great Ace Attorney 3. Just kidding, doesn't exist. Ever. Sag. I'm not ready to say goodbye to everybody in this game, man. We only got to see Hosonaga like 2 times, which was very disappointing. But look, in the first game, the last chapter was called Episode 5. In this game, it's just called Final. I'm pretty sure they planned out the entire story to go over 2 games from the beginning. Wait, this is the first investigation? God damn it, man. Alright, let's go. The unexpected halt of proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street. Dude, look at that food! I want to eat that. We have returned, my dear fellows. Welcome back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help. Think nothing of it. I believe you've had an even more wearing day than Mikotobo and I, no? You could say that. We were on the brink of defeat in court earlier. Turkey, monkey, you... Why? Why are you scared of the turkey? I love turkey. Bro, one of my favorite things ever, when I used to go out to like random ass fucking night markets and shit in Toronto, or just... Have you got... Is this a thing anywhere else? Just giant ass fucking turkey leg? Shit's hype. Oh wait, there's ads playing. I'm gonna wait a bit. You've been swatted in the back of the head by a turkey leg before? You mean like while it was still alive? Like an actual turkey just attacked you? Oh no, okay, alright. Someone just whacked you with a turkey leg. Alright, that's interesting. I don't know why they would do that. That sounds very weird. Was it cooked at least? No. Cousin is bashing the back of the head. Alright. It was cooked? Alright. I guess that makes it slightly better even though it's still kind of a waste. Man, I'm so dependent on fucking energy drinks, dude. Every time I try to do a stream without one, I'm just so tired. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But I also don't have any more, so... Rip. They're way too expensive for me to keep buying every week. I'm literally spending $12 a week on energy drinks. Get a load of this guy. I gotta find a new... And I'm so dependent on that massive amount of caffeine that's in an energy drink compared to like a coffee or something. Honestly, I should probably get some... Like... I don't know. I kind of wish I had a coffee machine. I still don't have one of those. I feel like I would actually kind of maybe use that a lot. How much are energy drinks in America? Over here, it's just to buy one can of an energy drink, it's like $2.75 Canadian. You never had an energy drink in your life? I mean, it's not really anything you should start if you don't need one. I just always needed to pick me up because of my... I mean, I need to pick me up a lot recently because I do so much fucking things all the time that require me to be awake. $2 to $3? Okay, it's about the same, so it's actually more expensive over there. And coffee, I don't like how coffee tastes, but I love how energy drinks taste. Energy drinks actually pick me up more than coffee do. Coffee do? Coffee does, in general. So yeah, of course when I saw the sale for energy drinks at like fucking $2, I was like, ah yeah! Ah yeah! I should have bought way more than 4, man. What the fuck's wrong with me? I should have bought a lifetime supply right there. Anyways. So, this prosecutor Asogi had you on the ropes, did he? And he's your best friend, you say? Well, he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Kazuma's changed. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I mean, it's incredible. To think that he'd even entertain the idea of acting as a Reaper's assassin. The boxes always have tiny-ass fucking cans in it, though. That's why I don't ever buy the boxes. You know what? I should check Amazon if they have like a... If I can just subscribe to having energy drinks sent to me every month. Oh god, I have a problem. To think that he'd even entertain the idea of acting as a Reaper's assassin. True, yeah, we're gonna talk about that, right? Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse. When all this started, almost a year ago now. Yeah, but did you explain why you let him live as a corpse? Yeah, Mr. Sholmes really hasn't told us the truth about what really happened back then. Yeah. About the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie. Please tell us. Now then, I must say it's really quite a journey all the way to France. Well, it is another country, Mr. Sholmes. So, what news of Judge Agoku? We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have had a lot of questions for the man. Poor Professor Mikotoba. This must be quite a shock for him. Man's gonna tap down sadly. Fuck gum. Bro, I don't buy gum. I probably buy gum like once every several years. Ah, yes, I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. Although gum kind of, now that I think about it, I used to get gum just because it kept me awake when I was in my office jobs. I wonder if that, maybe I should just be really annoying on stream and just constantly chewing on gum, like right in front of the mic. Ah, yes, I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. What is it? Surely you haven't forgotten already. I put it upon you for the matter only yesterday. You put upon me, Sholmes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well. And they really like to talk about feet. Okay, Taco. Oh, you've had a reply already? You also don't eat gum? I can't think of it. I can't even think of a good joke. Water may help. I'm literally drinking water right now. That doesn't help me as much as I hope it would. What's so urgent though, Mr. Sholmes? Such matters can wait until later. I'm far too hungry for an involved conversation at present. Well, that's good news, because supper is ready, everyone. Ah, and what a feast it is. If I were none the wiser, I'd think the trial were won already. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak, and kidney pie. Yorkshire pudding. Tomorrow could be a very long day, so eat up. Bro, I want the kidney pie, bro. I love kidney. I ain't kidding anybody. I love it. In that case, I think I'll seat myself just here. This place appears to be the only one set with a table. Hopefully nobody opens a fucking box and gets bopped in the head by a fucking turkey or whatever the fuck that is. This place appears to be the only one set with a helping of pheasant as well. Oh, sorry, Hurley. Not there. Why ever not? Are we in set places this evening? Yes, and that place is for Susie's daddy. For me? That's right. I made it especially for you, Professor Mickey. Professor Mickey? I see. Well, that's terribly kind of you. Wait, are we gonna talk about their possible relationship too? It's a shame, really. What do you mean?
No.
Well, for a brief moment, I believed it. That Susie and I were half sisters, I mean. Oh, okay, so they are gonna talk about it. They are gonna talk about it. Alright, alright. Oh. Iris, do you mean... Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I secretly listened to the conversation you had, after I tricked you all into thinking I'd left. What? What? Oh! Damn! The misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. But actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikotopa are Iris's father. Yes, about that, Iris. You know, I know. You can't tell me at the moment. Oh, Iris. The pheasant is by way of an apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping. Oh, no, that's quite all right. Then why don't I get any apologetic pheasant? So just who is Iris's father? I suppose that's not something we'll be finding out today. Why not? I don't know who the hell I could possibly be that'll make me go, what? Holy shit! At this point. Is it the professor? Wait a minute. Is it gonna be the half sister of Kazuma? Anyways, so then let us dine while our largely pheasantless plates are still piping hot. A fine idea, Sholmes. It looks absolutely delicious. Eat as much as you like. There's always seconds. This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial. About that telegram from Japan. And about Kazuma. I can't let this opportunity slip away. He looks comfortable. You good? You good, dude? You good? Why is no one else here? Alright, I guess I'm really just talking to Sholmes on the couch. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Surely it is abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikotoba's refusal to share his pheasant with me. Nevertheless, I felt the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and look on with hungry eyes. Huh. Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy. Even though I've played the role of father to you for far longer. Mr. Sholmes, could I discuss some things with you? Certainly, my dear fellow, I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation. No doubt, you're hungry to learn more of my deep love of the game. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. You needn't look at me in that fashion. In what fashion? It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasant matter to discuss. Damn, he's good. He's good. So, what was in the telegram that you received back from Japan then? Ah, this. I thank my lucky stars that arrived in time. Record found as indicated. Duplicate follows. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. What? Those 4 names. We've come across that exact same list before. They came up in that unforgettable case last spring. It appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder, turned out to be a masking monumental intrigue. A plot that involved the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign estates. In exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we deciphered a fragment of a message. Oh yeah! K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. We didn't find the names out until the case was over, and we never did get to the bottom of what they meant. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan. So, why are the names coming up again now? Yes, where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes? I have here the message I had wired yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Judge Jigoku's office undetected and investigate telegram records. Expect to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago. List of 4 names, need by tomorrow. Naruhodo. I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature. You asked Inspector Hosonaga to undertake such an onerous task for you? Hey, look who it is! It's your boy! I can't... You know what I realized? I've had my camera in the wrong spot for this game for like the longest time because I forgot that I moved it for, Oops. I moved it for fucking... Because I remember this place is actually a really good spot for it. I moved it for, Danganronpa S. I should have kept it back down here. Damn, man, there's several streams of me in the wrong spot blocking everything. God damn it. And in my name? I wonder what guys he opted for this time. Moved it for motherfucking, Ham, fucking Hosonaga. It's been weeks. I know. My fucking camera's been in the wrong spot for weeks! Fuck. It's almost like I should use the... You know what I should use? Maybe I should use that folder thing that Taco showed me where you can actually save several different presets of scenes. And that way I'll never make the mistake. Anyways. The hell is that? Okay, gotcha. My dear fellows, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand? Because then I could literally have like 3 scenes for every game I'm playing. And have all the count... Because you know I manually have to change my countdown scene object by object for each game. Man, I really make my life worse than it needs to be. Alright, anyways. Anyway, the list of names that was found in Seishiro's office as shown predicted. So you mean that my mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was... It was sent to Judge Goku. He was the intended recipient. I don't believe it. But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signifies. Yep, every single stream. Chocobo, look, alright? I know it sounds dumb, and that's because it is. I did formulate a hypothesis about that, but without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Mr. Sholmes looks deadly serious for once. Look, I'm eventually gonna fix my workflow one day. Maybe. That tragedy we had to go through on the SS Buria! It was all for nothing. Cosmo wasn't dead at all. We were completely taken in by the lie you told us, your great detective's lie. I took no pleasure in deceiving you. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost. What? I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan. His remains, you mean? Precisely, Mr. Sato. And then, I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead. Oh my, you mean... The arrangement between our two countries was already in place. One university student lawyer and one judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asogi, I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least. Wait, do you mean to say that it was all in the aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why you... Think back, Mr. Naruto. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England? The terms of the study tour was negotiated by... I don't remember what voice I used to do for this guy. The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. But there is no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. Yo, Mr. Sholmes... Damn, bro! The voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. So you manipulated me. I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which a friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend. I don't believe it. But if it was all contrived... I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as murder. A woman was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What do you suppose came of her? Oh yeah, so that means she didn't actually do anything. Wait. So did Sholmes push this man into the fucking bed frame? Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the foreign refuge she sought. I seem to remember Mr. Sato and I had some rather strong words for her. Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure. I just wonder if she made it to America then. Alright, I'm waiting for the new, the sequel to this game about America in the old days or whatever, and then it'll finally make everything make sense for the English translation of Phoenix Wright being in the U.S. I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes?
And I'll stop your life!
Alright, relax, Usato. You don't gotta do that. Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain? Hi, Killer. The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see. Oh? An omen that, at this very moment in time, is close at hand. An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand? We need to find out exactly what Mr. Sholmes knows. Dude, this is getting deep, bro. This is getting real deep. What do I gotta show you? What's the omen? Where's your omen at? This one? Is this the omen? Here, take that! Look at this. It's hardly the time, Miss Naruto, as I'm sure you will appreciate. Oh, no, of course not. My attention is entirely drawn to one single matter now. The peasant. Anyone would think you hadn't eaten in weeks. Dun 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 dun. Here. Sword. Nope. Why don't people make clips here? Laziness, basically. Yeah, I don't think he's the Reaper anymore either. I mean, I would be happy the more clips that were made. Maybe I should make some sort of clip competition every month. Top clip gets me to say their name in chat. Mrs. Sholmes, would you mind looking at this? A best of dude. I would literally hire somebody to make a best of compilation for my streams, but I don't know how to find someone I would trust. So that's the only problem. Try being funnier? Yeah, I try, but it's not too easy for me, man. I'm just funny challenged. I know, that's what the joke is. I say everyone's name really easily. It's not like I'm a huge streamer that like randomly will never see you in chat if you've watched him for like years. This is hardly the time, Mr. Naruto. I'm sure you will appreciate. Oh, no, of course not. Oh wait, why am I reading this? Here we go. There was no room for doubt with your instruction in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. Well, you told me to call you Killer. If anyone tells me to call them certain thing, I'll remember it, in general. Unless you want me to call you something else. And you were very clear that it was Judge Goku's office that should be searched, so... I can do it for you. I can do it if you want your clips for 2023. I mean, that's better than never. I can call you These Nuts. Alright, These Nuts. Oh yeah, Malt? Yeah, what's up, Choco? Poco the Loco? See, I remember. You obviously knew where this list of names would be found. Keisoki, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. But we only learned of those phone names just over 6 months ago now, and only because they appeared as part of a top secret governmental communication that was leaked. It was a joke? Yeah, I know, don't worry. That's true, yes, but at the time you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that, approximately this time last year in fact, when you were both still in Japan. It would really be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets. Also, no, I don't even know how to read that, Chocobo, so sorry, I cannot fulfill your request. I'll go for the last thing I see there, which is Rung. Hey, what's up, Rung? Because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese governments. Oh, you are you? I do call you Pikachu. I sure just call you Pikachu, even though your name has never been Pikachu, right? It used to be Pikachu 2, and then with the 2 at the end, right? And then became Ben Pikachu. Right? But I just call you Pikachu. Yeah, Pikachu. Yeah, I remember. Damn, see, I have great memory. What are you guys talking about? I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese governments. You're perpetually doing what? How? Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Herlock Sholmes when he has designs on knowing it. Oh my, Mr. Sholmes, what a fabulous line. Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names is wired, I can call you Doc. Why? Why did I call you that once? Oh yeah, because I saw your name in Jackbox, right? Talk. At least 3 C's. At least. Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to the recipient Jigoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. As soon as I learned of that incident, a hypothesis rapidly took place in my mind. As it turns out, I was partly correct, and partly mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow. Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us all you know. Tell us all about these 4 names, and the tragedy to which they are all somehow connected. Ooh, the 4 names. As I said when I learned of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names. Because you see, there was someone else
In a good way.
in that list who I believe to be recently deceased. What? Who? A Shin, as it was transcribed in the Japanese script, it was in fact actually Miss Asashin, the assassin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer. Oh look, it's you. You're in the game. Well known among London's unsavory classes. Used it in Neopets 20 years ago? Damn. That's awesome. I don't remember what name I used to use back when I played Neopets. Oh, I see. Maki! Oh wait, wrong game. Hi Bantuatha. I don't even know what... Okay, never mind, I get it. But she has completely vanished from the existence several months before Wilson's murder. All your pets are dead? No, they're just always dying from hunger. Actually, they probably actually are dead. Is Neopets down now? But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed, and accordingly I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list. Can I tell you guys a really sad story? This is totally unrelated, but I remember I got a Shoryu. I got a Shoryu in Neopets from the adoption agency, and back then for whatever reason, I had family friends that just knew my password and login. And then I remember like day 1 after I got my Shoryu, for whatever reason my friend released it. Was it a Shoryu? Or was it a Drake? It was no, sorry, it was a Poogle. It was a Poogle. That's what it was. I know it was a limited pet. It was a Poogle, not a Shoryu. I had a fucking Poogle, bro. It was a blue Poogle. Frame 1 released for no reason. Bro, I actually got a goddamn Poogle, man. I'm so sad about that to this day. Frick, man. So annoying. Anyways, I think I got my account banned or some shit because I fell for one of those tricks. You know, like how people have their own storefronts and shit. Like how people just like sell their own stuff and they can like customize their own storefront thing. It was really cool. And I went to one and they had one of those copy pastors about how like, oh, copy paste this and you'll get 1,000,000 Neo points. Wow, it's magical. And I was like, 1,000,000 Neo points. And then I copy pasted it and then I got banned for for that. It was very depressing, actually. It's actually honestly very depressing. Anyways, I'm dense. Look, okay, I was literally a child. Okay, Now I would at least try to back up my account before I tried out the 1 million Neopets thing. A Mincy and an Elfantine. I don't even know what those are. I don't even recognize those names. Alright. Keosogi and T. Gregson. Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from Britain. So that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead. Exactly. So, you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes? Oh yes, Sholmes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I've recounted many tales about Asogi to him in my letters, and in the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course. So, Dr. Wilson is dead then? I didn't know. Oh, so she really didn't know. Oh, Iris. I know he wasn't my daddy, but still. That's very sad. I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. Well, it's a good thing we didn't, because we figured out that he wasn't actually your dad before you realized he was dead. So maybe that helped out. Chocobo, you're typing a lot like somebody who wants to try to get back into Neopets all of a sudden. But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, doesn't completely tie in with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis. You've never played it? Oh, okay, never mind then. A big hole, Miss Naruto. That's what she said. Yes, you mean about Asashin, I presume. Oh, of course. Exactly, she wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett. I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow, but I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago, in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel. Oh yeah, when he was hiding behind a box or some shit? And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis that had formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy. What? Topsy? Topsy hypothesis? What do you mean when you say your hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Sholmes? I had believed all 4 names on the list to be names of victims. However, I was mistaken. Very much so. Asashin was a killer. So this telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it? Indeed. And it would seem that Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Her visiting student status being merely a front. Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions. So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asashin is because he was the target of an assassination. And forearmed with that knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list in a very different perspective. So that means Kazuma's trying to kill... Who? Sorry, who was the 4th person on the list? What do you mean? Well, doesn't it not strike you? There's another among the 4, who subsequently became a visiting student. Wait, you mean... But of course, a name you know only too well. You mean... Kazuma? He did say in court earlier today. Yes, on 31st October I accompanied Inspector... Oh, he was here to kill Gregson! I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark. Oh, he didn't specifically say who it was, so he wasn't lying. Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now. Surely not. In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say. Detailing an assassin exchange. An assassin exchange? How could Kazuma possibly have gotten involved in something like that? Wait, what? Why does the night overlap the text? The fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? The chess piece? Wait, it does overlap. Wait, what do you... It doesn't overlap the text, bro. Dude, you're on wild, bro. You're definitely getting optical illusion or something. I'm looking at it right now. It's not overlapping your text. What do you mean? What? Alright, anyways, let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to... You know what? Just because he's... Man, if it was easy for me to do, I would have like made it so it actually did for like a second, but I can't do that, so it's too much work. Let's assume that we have two parties each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. That would then be an assassin exchange. So to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange. But what on earth is the point? Don't forget, Naruhodo, that the British assassin at least escaped conviction, thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction. Oh yes. Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries, but the fact that it was brought into play suggests that intervention at the very highest levels. The highest levels. These murders were two sides of the same coin, linked not by a common motive but a contractual agreement. As such, they appear utterly unrelated. Yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. But this association and the safeguard of diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot. But wait a minute, Miss Sholmes. If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Seishiro Jigoku at all. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson. What? Kazuma's here for Gregson? So Judge Jigoku wasn't actually the mark? Yes, that's exactly what it would mean. I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe. Mr. Sholmes. I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position. Oh, so that's why he was trying to go to Paris? Sholmes actually told him about what he was worried about. Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow. Yes, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition. That he'd be transferring to the Paris police and taking Gina with him. But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last. This is too much to take in. That's what she said. Alright, everyone. That's quite enough of all that serious talk for one day. Oh, don't worry, I'm way ahead of you, Iris. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time. Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. What preparations? Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel room now. It's certainly been a night to remember. It is a little bit sad, though. I mean, I like the idea of you being my daddy. Because then Susie would have been my big sister. I'm sorry, Iris. I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister. What? Really? Oh yes, without question. So, you'll teach me all the ways you know how to throw Runo to the floor? Yes, of course. It would be my pleasure. You didn't have to agree quite so readily. Oh, but wait a minute. If Susie's going to be my big sister, you can be my big brother if you want, Bruno. Huh? I mean, yes, of course. If you'll have me, I'll gladly be your brother. Well done, Iris. We must always be mindful of feelings. I've raised you so well. Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally. Right, I'm going to work extra hard for tomorrow now, because it's for my big brother and sister. What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? So Sholmes is the dad now? Oh, true. Sholmes is everybody's daddy now. Perfect. What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what? Hehe, you'll just have to wait and see. Oh. Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance. I'll do my very best, of course. You're very into that, Taco. So the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths while posing new conundrums. That list of 4 names in the telegram in Judge Jigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I felt as though I had been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt that I would see the light again soon. Because I was lucky enough to have Nakama, the most wonderful family in the world, standing steadfastly behind me. Look, everybody's happy. Wait, what am I waiting for? There's 2 dads? I mean, it's 1821, alright? Guys, this thing is just filled with jelly. And I'm trying to open it, but apparently it's going to be very messy if I do, but I really want it, so hold on, give me a second. Got it! It's open! Nice! This is probably a mistake to eat on stream, but it's fine. Those things, yeah. And now it's sticky everywhere. What is that? You're missing out. It's actually lychee jelly. Yeah. Now you're going to be like, your next words are going to be, what the fuck is lychee? What the fuck should you just say? I'm just kidding. Or am I? Lychee. L-Y-C-H-E-E. Sorry. L-Y-C... Yes, yeah, there we go. What Taco said. Before we begin today, I have a brief announcement. As with the closed trial 10 years ago, some astonishing facts have come to light in these proceedings. The revelation that the well-known Reaper is actually an organization legally executing its own brand of justice. And the discovery that a respected yard inspector was at his heart until he himself perished in an assassination plot. Well, I say to all members of the judiciary here present on this occasion, that we will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings. You don't think you've ever seen it in real life? You can see it in like Asian supermarkets usually. It's kind of annoying. The one reason it's annoying is you gotta peel every single. It's like as small as a grape usually, but you gotta peel it entirely every time you want to eat one. And there's also a big ass pit in the middle. So for me, the more effort there is to eat something, my enjoyment levels go like this. Go like, fuck, shit, I can't do it. Anyways. How do I do this again? Hold on. Oh, then I'll be like, wait, yeah, there we go. Oh, shit, it's... You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying? I don't like, yeah. I mean, I do enjoy an orange.
What am I looking at?
Sometimes. No, actually, I like bananas and oranges. They're not that hard to peel because they're actually like, you peel them and they're like a full ass experience, alright? Lychees are the equivalent of peeling an orange to get one fucking slice of it. That shit ain't worth it. Okay? That's the same reason why I don't like shrimp. Or peanuts. Like, that are still in the shell, that is. That shit's whack. Okay, I think I'm pretty consistent about this. Council, you will undertake this trial with your resolve, oh yo, name drop, to pursue the truth to the bitter end. Resolve, yes. That's my intention. Like, this guy even know, he knows it. He knows it. He knows that's the name of the game. What up, pistachios? I really hate the effort to eat pistachios too, but pistachios are fucking top tier. They're probably my favorite nut. But they do kind of suck how much effort I have to put into eating one. I usually injure my fingers a lot eating them. I just understood what you said, Taco. God damn it. You maybe like the shell and not the middle? I don't know if that's weird. I remember like whenever I would eat pistachios, I would lick the shell a lot too. For whatever reason. Anyways, my lord, if I may inquire. The defendant may speak. On what grounds is Kazuma Asogi permitted to continue in his role as prosecutor? He has admitted to colluding with the victim in a plot to assassinate an innocent man. He shouldn't be enjoying the privilege of freedom, let alone be leading the prosecution. I submitted a written petition to Lord Strongheart, requesting that the judgment of my transgressions be delayed by 1 day. You did what? A nut tier list? Nah. No. I feel like I would, if I tried to ever make a tier list on stream, I feel like it would be the most boring piece of shit I've ever done in my entire life for like everybody involved. I'm just so boring when it comes to comparing things. Because I can't. I always think everything's the best in some way. In today, it's either everything is good or shit. There's like, I don't have a fucking way of like tiering that. Although I did make a Danganronpa character tier list, I guess. That was kind of hard. That was off stream anyway. In today's proceedings, I intend to expose everything. My whole life for the last 10 years has been all leading up to this one day. Kazuma. Whatever the outcome of this trial, I give my word that I will accept whatever punishment is deemed appropriate, however severe. And I suggest you prepare yourself for the same, Reaper. Kazuma is bristling with hostility today. I get the distinct impression we're heading into very dangerous territory. Is that really even Kazuma-sama standing before us? As an extreme exception to normal practices, I have granted this prosecutor's request. The defense finds this acceptable, I presume. No. Objection! Yes, my lord. In that case, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed hearing of Barak Van Zeeks. Defense is ready, my lord. Why does the music sound like we're about to pop into a fucking crazy-ass opening of the anime? Like, you know, like right before the opening just starts? You guys know what I'm talking about? Alright, never mind. The prosecution is more than ready. Very well, then this preamble has taken long enough. Prosecutor Asogi, begin. As you wish, my lord. The prosecution calls the first witness to the stand. Bring Seishio Jigoku into the courtroom. At last, then, we've reached the final battle. He's putting literally everything on his line now. I mean, on the line now in order to get to the truth. Slap! Come on, Ryunosuke. It's time for that steely resolve. Dude, they keep saying it. They keep saying resolve. Because this is going to test it to the limit. Push it to the limit! Witness, state your name and occupation for the court. Dude, why am I getting hiccups now? Huh, so it was you who issued this, was it? Your subpoena? I did what was necessary. Well, look what the young man has become. I didn't think I'd see the day where you take that tone with me, I must say. The witness will ensure his responses are pertinent to the questions asked. My name is Seishiro Jigoku, a Supreme Court judge from an empire of Japan. 16 years ago, this man came to London as a visiting student. 6 years later, he returned to Japan. As well as presiding over the Supreme Court, he is also currently Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. I am of course fully aware of Mr. Jigoku and his preeminent roles. I invited him personally to the International Forensic Science Symposium as a representative of his country. I hear he has also played a key role in the conclusion of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. It was a great honor to be involved in the negotiations. I put up my all into that trial. Judge Jigoku, I must ask. Well, I never fancy the young murdering student turning up here in all places. You acquitted me yourself, and now I'm a practicing defense lawyer. Yes, and full of self-importance like your friend across the courtroom, I see. You came here to London by invitation to the International Forensic Science Symposium. But then, without informing anyone of your plans, you took flight to France. Took flight? I'd have to object to that turn of phrase. Then explain yourself. What exactly were the circumstances? Well, I was somewhat expecting this, and I'm sorry to say, I decline to comment. What? Leaving the country prematurely when I was invited as a guest may be questionable etiquette, but my decision is unrelated to this case. I can't be bound to testify. Unrelated, you say? I appreciate that a respected police inspector has been killed, for which I offer my condolences. However, being an alien, I'd obviously never met the man, nor do I know the first thing about him. As such, I'm in no position to testify. It's as simple as that. So you would run from all this? I beg your pardon? This case is more far-reaching than the murder of Inspector Gregson. It has ties to another murder, a case that was tried in Japan almost a year ago now. A year ago in Japan? The murder of Dr. John H. Wilson. That's right, and you, Judge Jigoku, are at the heart of both cases. Defense has evidence to prove. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, Chocobo, but maybe it kind of makes sense, I guess. Like he's appreciating as he's like acknowledging. I think maybe he meant to say acknowledge. Like he acknowledges like the importance of the fact that someone is dead, or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, Ryunosuke, you see from I just understood, Taco, why you wrote noted his line. Dude, why am I so slow? Well, Ryunosuke, I see from the look in your eyes that you're resolved. They're just gonna keep fucking saying. They're gonna keep saying it. They're gonna keep saying resolve, bro. The whole case is just gonna be people saying they're resolved. That you're resolved to carry this through to the very end too. This is really funny now because I sent Taco a picture of fucking what is it, detergent? I don't even know what the hell it was, honestly. I just knew it said resolve on it. Let's see your evidence then. What proof do you have that Seishiro Jigoku is involved in this case? Stain remover? Yeah. I'm about to remove this stain named Kazuma from the fucking court, bro. How do I link these two together again? I'm out of options. I better pull the ear. Oh, is it the fact that Gregson was on the same ship? Man, I don't know. It doesn't work? Wow. Trash. Passport? Was it the passport? What means that in this again? I mean, no, this only really says that he left to France, but this other thing says he was on the same ship, right? right? I'm confused. Guys, we're frame 1 confused. We're frame 1 confused, guys. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta do something really important. You see these little things all over the place, don't you? It's the part on the top of a pocket watch you twist to set the time, isn't it? Wait. I have a part on the top of a pocket watch, bro. It's called the crown, I believe. A watch would be quite useless without one. You have 5 lives, little. Yeah, that's man who's about to spend 5 lives and game over 3 times in the next 30 minutes. That's what he says. The crown, like what sits on top of a monarch's head, that's a very grand name for such a tiny part. But actually, yes, Mr. Naruto, if this is a crown, I have a feeling I might have seen a monarch here somewhere with this very bare head. If by monarch you mean pocket watch, and I'm quite sure you have. I have, actually. Let me put it on the fucking pocket watch, bro. Let me put it on that shit, bro. What do you think, Mr. Sato? I feel sure I know exactly what will fit here. Really? I was just thinking precisely the same thing. We're about to see that little round component is actually part of Inspector Gregson's broken pocket watch. Really? I was just thinking precisely that too, and I found that in the freaking chest. Or I guess Sherlock did, or Herlock did. I don't... why do emotes on their own why are they so funny? Why are they so funny? A perfect fit! I knew it. Alright, perhaps you knew it. I'll make a note of this new information at once. Wow! So he did see Gregson before. Because this is the only one-of-a-kind watch he has. Alright, this is it, right? Is this the connection? Is this the connection? Did I find the connection? I'm gonna do it. Actually, wait. Before I do that... Sword! Sword, dude! Whoa! Karma, the great blade. It's such a thing of beauty. I want to gaze on it for hours. Oh shit! I unsheathed it! Straight up! Far out. The tip of the great sword, broken. It's a shame. It's been so meticulously cared for over the years. I can almost hear Karma's sobs. I mean... Sorry, my bad, guys. I can almost hear Karma's son of a bitches. Kaza must have had a really taken a swing for that to happen. Alright. The son of bitches sobs. I'll cut down those words. No, it's I'll cut through your words. Or no, it's I'll cut through those words? I don't remember. I'll find out when I watch Taco continue the series. Alright. Fake fan? True. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna try this. It might be wrong, but I gotta live a little. I got 5 lives.
Take that!
What on earth is that? Wait. This piece of evidence is a welcome present to the courthouse with the compliments of the defense! Never mind. Never mind. You have a poor grasp of British court etiquette, counsel. That's the extent of your resolve. You disappoint me, Ryunosuke Naruto. You're the god. What the fuck? Having your best friend tell you he's disappointed and you really stings, though. But of course we have evidence. If you guys want to know a debate, y'all should have seen the debate from yesterday's stream, where they let me go on a full-on sequence of presenting evidence to that was wrong entirely. Oh, I'm just supposed to show the fucking note, bro. And all right, Chocobo. Yeah, and if anyone missed it yesterday, I was all like, yo, they made me pick a person from the case that was lying about their testimony, had a contradiction, and I picked, I didn't know who it was, so I picked Van Zeeks, and then Van Zeeks was like, what? How could you do such a, how could you choose me? And then I was like, you know, because you look kind of ashen, you know, because of this evidence that I'm sure. And you have to be there, okay? I've completely given up. That's way too hard to explain. I have to present a present? Anyways, I'm pretty sure this is what I'm supposed to send, right?
Take that!
Yeah, okay. This is a telegram detailing a communication sent between Britain and Japan approximately 1 year ago. The communication contained 4 names: K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, and J. Wilson. You little... No, don't break it! Where did you get that? In Tokyo. From your office, Judge Jigoku. What? How on earth did you... What's this all about? Why is my name on that list? This list of 4 names follows a certain pattern. T. Gregson and J. Wilson are the names of victims. K. Asogi and A. Shin are the names of assassins. No. A year ago in Tokyo, Dr. John H. Wilson's life was taken in a Western-style... We're going straight into this shit. Holy crap. I thought I was going to be, like, paced out. Dr. John H. Wilson's life was taken in a Western-style restaurant in the capital. The culprit was found to be a visiting student who went by the name of Giselle Brett, but her real name was Asa Shin, a professional killer sent on a mission to kill from Great Britain. A. Shin and her victim J. Wilson. And the murder that just took place here in London was the counterpart to that crime, an assassin sent from Japan, also a visiting student, Kazuma Asogi, whose victim was the British police inspector Tobias Gregson. K. Asogi and T. Gregson, one assassin from each country, to kill a target residing in the other. What exactly is the defense suggesting? These 2 cases of murder, one that took place in Britain and one in Japan, were masterminded by a pair of individuals from each country as a form of assassination exchange. In the telegram the defense has acquired is proof of this international contract to kill. What? Basically, Bantuatha, where the entire game, honestly, the entire game has been slowly connecting towards it. It's been kind of wild. There's like parts in each case that all connect to this shit. The telegram was found in your office, Judge Jigoku. In other words, the mastermind in Japan was you. Judge Jigoku, what's this all about? And you, Kazuma, you lied. During yesterday's proceedings, you acknowledged that you'd accepted the assassination mission, but the mark wasn't Judge Jigoku at all. It was T. Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard, as shown by the name on the killing contract. Very impressive, Ryunosuke. But actually, I didn't lie. The name of the target I was ordered to kill never passed my lips yesterday. The idea that Seishiro Jigoku was the mark came entirely from you. Okay, yeah, he's fucking arguing off a goddamn technicality again. Oh, okay, I understand, Pikachu, thank you. Thank you for the very hardcore explanation. But yeah, I already mentioned that he said I was there to assassinate a mark, and I didn't actually say a name. You deliberately avoided saying a name. The defense claims these 4 names indicate some sort of international assassin exchange. I'm sure I speak for all present when I say the very idea seems utterly absurd. Well, Mr. Jigoku, what do you have to say for yourself? His silence only goes to prove his guilt. There's another very important point that this new development brings to light. There's now a distinct possibility the scene of Inspector Gregson's actual murder was in the witness's cabin aboard the SS Grouse. You know what I also really kind of thought about? They really only had a single fucking case with Susato being a fucking lawyer for whatever reason. They did a whole ass case, the whole model creation and everything just for that. That's kind of wild. Just for the fucking intro case. Was in the witness's cabin aboard the SS Grouse. Judge Jigoku, you have to testify now. To refuse to put you into contempt of court. There's no need for quite such vicious stare, young man. Very well then, as a parting gift to you all, I'll tell you everything I know. It seems this Japanese gentleman has information that the court must hear about the alleged assassin exchange and the events of the night of the 31st October. Present your formal testimony now. As you wish, my lord. Let's look at this is a spooky game. It's true that Kazuma Asogi was assigned the assassination mission 1 year ago now. The target was Inspector T. Gregson. That was a condition of the British study tour. However, in the end, something happened that meant the young man was unable to carry out his mission. On the evening in question, a member of the crew was on duty outside of my cabin at all times. If there had been a shot fired, the crewman would have heard it, so clearly I can't be involved. No, they wouldn't have. Unless if they were paid. So you admit it then. As this communication suggests, there really was an assassin exchange arrangement between Britain and Japan. A political endeavor at the highest levels, not something I can discuss here. To use such a worthy practice as a foreign study to coerce someone to commit murder is the most appalling thing I've ever heard. Appalling? Well, it's easy to judge. I get it! Pardon? Asogi had a reason for taking his sword to that British inspector, you know? What? Which is why he accepted the mission in the first place. Isn't that right, Counsel? Kazuma-sama? Judge Jigoku, if you are the mastermind behind this operation in Japan, then tell the court the identity of your counterpart in Britain. I'm not obliged to divulge that information. As I said yesterday, I've killed nobody. I freely admit that I accepted the mission, but on the night when the plan was to be executed, I backed out. In short, this assassination exchange that the defense has identified is unrelated to the events of this case. The crucial point is this. The police inspector can't have perished aboard that steamship in Dunkirk, because if he had been shot in the cabin, it's inconceivable that a member of the crew wouldn't have heard it. That's right. Gregson was killed after returning to London, in the room in Fresno Street. And the perpetrator of the crime was the Reaper, Barack Van... You know what I just realized as well? They really talked a lot about that fucking random-ass comment they made about how
No, that's wrong.
how the luxury liner has ice and probably has electronically charged refrigerators. That would help with the time of death problem. Because if he was killed there, shot in the room, then they could have just put his body in the fucking fridge to fuck up the time of death and place his body later. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to see things clearly here. And the perpetrator of the crime was the Reaper, Barack Van Zieks. The prosecution's accusation remains unchanged. To think that seemingly an innocent foreign exchange program was a facade for more clearly, it's a plot only a government minister and high-ranking judge such as the witness could hope to execute. Well, I seem to recall that someone on the British side who controlled everything. Be that as it may, it is not the place of this court to pursue this villainous assassin exchange plot. We are concerned only with the tangible evidence pertaining to the murder of Inspector Gregson. Is the defense clear on that point, Counsel? Yes, my lord. I'll keep that in mind as I cross-examine the witness. Dude, this guy has 4 prosecutor badges as fucking buttons. It's true that Kazuma Asogi was assigned to the assassination mission. Okay, I don't care about that. Target was Inspector T. Gregson. That was okay, yeah, sure, whatever. However, in the end, something happened that meant the young man was unable. Okay. On the evening in question, a member of the crew was on duty outside my cabin at all times. Okay.
Hold it!
I can't really literally name that fucking emote the entire fucking line. That must look super spammy to anybody who doesn't have the fucking thingy. You changed it? Oh, okay. You made it have dream. Can you guys say something? I just checked off something. I don't know if I broke the chat. I hope I didn't. The crewman who was standing directly outside... Okay, that's there. Outside your cabin door, you mean? That's right. A muscular man with a permanent grim expression on his face. He didn't once move from that spot. To be honest, I thought he was a miserable fellow. But as it happens, he's a vital witness now. There's no doubt that Gregson was killed by a gunshot, and it's inconceivable that a crewman standing just outside the cabin door wouldn't have heard that. But wait, what about the ship's enormous steam engines? The noise of them could have drowned out the sound of the gun being fired. Sadly, young judicial assistant, that won't wash. Oh? You'll recall that my cabin was in the first-class area of the ship, which is also, of course, the quietest. Don't imagine for a moment that's anything like steerage that where the judicial assistants go. I didn't mean... But a hole like that made by a bullet was found in your cabin, Judge Jigoku. That's compelling evidence that a gun was fired in there. What's that? A bullet hole? Oh yes, you're talking about what the detective uncovered in the wall yesterday, I presume. That was obviously a rotten panel, eaten out by a woodworm. No doubt he didn't find an actual bullet. That's the hole in this argument. Sadly, I was unable to arrange for the crewmen to be brought back to Britain with me. But obviously, if a gun had been fired in my cabin on the night in question, as the defense implies, I would have been arrested on the spot, and would never have made it to Britain in the first place. Very true, the witness's logic is sound, since no gunshot was heard from the witness's cabin on the night in question. We must assume the witness is telling the truth. I'm glad you've seen sense, my lord. I know, Kazuma... Yeah, they're talking about the fucking cloth in the goddamn pipe, but I don't know how to present that because they don't have that as evidence. I know Kazuma's already admitted to taking on this incredible assassination plot, but even so, hearing it confirmed by somebody else is still a real shock. It's unforgivable using Kazuma-sama's feelings to manipulate him into agreeing to such a despicable plan. But I think Kazuma manipulated Judge Jigoku too. He completely double-crossed him. Oh dear. It's hard not to see that as a stroke of brilliance on Kazuma-sama's part. One way or another, though, Gregson ended up dead. I really think that the murder must have happened aboard that steamship. So you mean Judge Jigoku must be lying? I'm pretty sure we don't have that as evidence. I know I shouldn't let my emotions cloud my judgment, but you must destroy him, Miss Naruhodo. Dun dun. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't. Yeah, like I have... Wait, hold on. Wait a minute, this might actually be important. Oh wait, there's a part where all the crew members are required to assemble on the main deck to review evacuation procedures for 20 minutes. That's a pretty good time to shoot somebody. Anyways, I don't know if that's what I'm looking for. Hold on. Oop. At all times, objection. 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 Objection.
Objection!
Bitch. Yes, as the court has heard, there was a crewman posted outside Judge Jigoku's cabin. However, we can be sure that, contrary to the witness's claim, the guard wasn't there at all times. What? I have here a notice of a particular event that was scheduled to take place aboard the steamship on the 31st. Where did you get that? It's evidence gathered by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. You were acquainted yesterday, if you remember. Herlock Sholmes again. According to this itinerary, after leaving the port of Dunkirk at exactly 10 p.m., and for a period of 20 minutes, all crewmen of the SS Grouse were to gather on deck for an evacuation drill. All crewmen were. away from their posts. And during that 20-minute interval, of course, any gunshots emanating from your cabin would have been heard by no one. Dun-dun. In summary, Judge Jigoku, you had ample opportunity to commit the crime. Dun, 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 dun. A 20-minute window of opportunity. That's an excellent find, Ryunosuke, but it amounts to nothing. Why? Because the witness clearly stated in his testimony that he didn't do it. Unless you have some decisive evidence that can show that the testimony to be false, your accusation is nothing more than conjecture. Very true. Well, counsel? Inspector Gregson was killed in Judge Jigoku's cabin that night, I'm certain of it. Because the defense has the evidence to prove it. I do? You will present the evidence for the defense at once, counsel. What proof do you have that the victim's life was taken in Jigoku's cabin in the Oh! Because he was shot in the fucking thing, bro!
Take that!
Yes! Because he got shot in the pocket watch and then got knocked off in that moment. And then it was in his room. Judge Jigoku, this was found in your cabin yesterday. What is that? The crown of a pocket watch? A pocket watch? And if you will observe, the victim's pocket watch, which we know how he treasured, is missing precisely that part. It can't be. Moreover, this crown is a perfect fit on the spindle protruding from the victim's watch. Now, the fact that this was retrieved from Judge Jigoku's cabin tells us that the victim's watch almost certainly broke there. In other words, the victim was killed on the 31st during the 20-minute evacuation drill. In the cabin occupied by you, Judge Jigoku. Well, you're razor sharp, aren't you, you young murderer? You can't just call me that, man. It's not how you're gonna win this. Expertly maneuvered. That is completely spelled wrong. They tried their very best, but they just could not figure it out. They put all their men on this fucking line. They weren't able to do it. But anyways, expertly maneuver, Ryunosuke. And your argument is it sounds entirely plausible. At first. But rather like this pocket watch, it's full of cracks. What? And I believe Judge Jigoku feels the same way. I was wrong to acquit you earlier in the year. he keeps talking about that. It can be spelled like that too? No fucking way, really? God damn, man. Like the French or something? Sorry? Fucking old English shit. If I'd known that it would result in anyone having to listen to this drivel, I would have declared you guilty just to spare the world your ridiculous bombast. I think it's clear that the witness will have to give further testimony. When you hear what actually happened in my cabin that night, you'll notice the pitfall into which you've stumbled. Prior to your renewed testimony, I would like to clarify one point. The fact that this part of the victim's watch was discovered in your cabin means that you acknowledge that he was there, I presume? Yes, I do. Very well, then. You may proceed to give your formal testimony. But what exactly happened in your cabin aboard the ship on the evening of the 31st October? Yo, this guy has not been mean at all. He's been actually pretty goddamn fair. Was I wrong? Was I wrong about doubting ya boy Strongheart? Of course, as a man of the law, I have no intention of obstructing justice. Welcome back, Choco Blow. He's still sus? Hold on. I have a second one of these. I'm gonna eat it. I've been staring at it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Just open. Please. Let me eat you. Shit, it's actually leaking, and I didn't even open it. You reheated some leftover spaghetti? That sounds great. I would just eat it cold because I'm crazy. I eat everything cold for whatever reason. You eat it cold because of no microwave? That's also fair. Alright, the events in the cabin. I had a guest waiting for me when I returned to my cabin after finishing my evening meal in the dining room. When I walked through the door, a mustachioed Englishman was there, foolishly waving a gun at me. I soon took care of him with an Ippon Seo. An Ippon? Bro! Yo, we playing Ninjala? He couldn't wait to run away after that. I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. It has nothing to do with his murder. The inspector was clearly killed having returned to Britain, because his body was found in London. Basically, the microwave said, nah, I'm gonna head out, and then got up and left. Ippon Seo. A common jutsu martial artist technique in my country. I was careful not to use too much force, but the man obviously landed too heavily for his watch to take. So, Rinosuke Naruhodo. I imagine you can see the flaw in your logic now, can't you? What? Wait. They just straight up said no more microwaves ever again? Because they saw a spark? That's kind of, I guess that's kind of scary, but the fact that the pocket watch was broken in the witness's cabin is in no way proof that the victim's murder took place there. Arg. I no doubt the inspector intended to kill me, but he didn't manage to pull the trigger. Yes, because he was merely the tactician with the Reaper's hand of death. Well, the testimony appears to make perfect sense as far as I can tell. Let me express my deep gratitude for your understanding, my lord. If the testimony holds, Judge Jigoku will be deemed to have no involvement in the case. Well, counsel, I really see no reason for wasting precious court time here on a cross-examination. Sorry, my lord, the defense has a right to cross-examine. I don't intend to squander that. You're an embarrassment to your countrymen, not knowing when you're beaten. Now, you guys have some really weird experience with appliances. And my best guess is because y'all are using appliances that are like 20 bucks or some shit from some random store. That's the only thing I can think of. For the fact that your fucking toaster is exploding and catching fire. In that case, proceed, Miss Naruto. Way to assume? I mean, if I'm wrong, but I did say that I was assuming. The events in the cabin. I had a guest waiting for me when I returned to my cabin after finishing my evening meal in the dining room. When I walked through the door, a mustachioed Englishman was there foolishly waving a gun at me. Okay, couldn't run away after that. I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. It has nothing to do with his murder. Old and cheap? Yeah, because I have a lot of really old appliances and toasters and shit, but I'm pretty sure they're like really old. They're like probably like almost 10 years old, but they're still working fine. And I think when they were bought, they were pretty expensive, which probably helps. Probably. Alright. What do I... Also, I have a really scuffed microwave that I really want to replace because it's so fucking old and doesn't heat very evenly. But it's very expensive to replace because it's fucking huge. And I realized that microwaves are goddamn expensive. It was around before you were born? Damn, it's at least 10 years old? That's crazy. Alright. So I don't really know what to do exactly here to speedrun this, so I might have to press every statement. I feel like that might be my only case here. My only option here, I mean. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this. New strats at the end of the game. So that's his story. Well, I suppose if you think about it, whenever you drop a teacup in the office and it breaks, we don't say, "Miss Naruto must have been murdered there," do we? Is that a veiled threat about what might happen to me if I break another one? And the fact is that Inspector Gregson's body was found in a little room in Fresno Street. If he really was killed in the Judge Jigoku's cabin, the body would have to have been moved somehow, so obviously. Transporting a dead body over a country border. That would be impossible for a majority of people. There must have been some special circumstance that made it possible for the culprit then. That could be a vital realization, I think, Miss Naruto. Yeah, the fucking fridge, but you know what? We're gonna have to press everything. Let's go.
Hold it!
Why is it big? Y'all cook like 5 things in there at once? No, it could fit an entire dinner plate, basically, so you can reheat, like, any sized meal, I guess. It's like dinner plate sized, which is bigger than most microwaves I've seen. And I used to think that was a standard, but then I realized every microwave I see is fucking tiny as hell. And I was like, oh, okay, that's the standard. So we have a really big one. Because the so-called guard posted at your cabin door had just let your killer pass, you mean? Apparently, Gregson told the crewman that he was a police inspector, which was the truth, of course. He wouldn't have had his identification with him, though. He had his trench coat and mustache, not to mention the bag of chips. Bag of chips? Excuse me, it was newspaper of chips, okay? Imagine the crewman was convinced. Microwave flexing right now? Dude, you know what? You know what my food looks like when I put it in the microwave? It does this. It does this. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, but the man accompanying him would have 2 swords slung around his waist. You mean me? Who else? Yes, that's true. You would have hoped the sight of a few swords might have set off alarm bells in the guard's head. The point is, I left the cabin before its occupant returned and I immediately disembarked the ship. You were watching so intently? Because, you know, my performances are very, very immersive. Certainly all I can tell you is that the only inspector was waiting for me when I arrived back at my cabin. And you entered without any inkling of suspicion. That's right, none whatsoever. When I walked through the door, a mustachioed man. Mamma mia, it's a Mario. Obviously, you're talking about Inspector Gregson. Yes, though at the time I didn't know the man's name. And there was no time for introductions. I value my life over manners. By which you mean that the inspector was there to assassinate you, I suppose. That was certainly the impression given by the gun pointing in my direction. But I've never seen the muzzle of a revolver shake about so much in my life. And I would think the man had never shot somebody before. Believe it or not, most of us haven't. Anyway, there was no time to call for the help of the crewman at the door, so I dealt with the man myself. I soon took care of him with an Ippo!
Hold it!
You know, the man had a gun? That was a very brave move, wasn't it? My Ippon Seoi is far faster than a bullet, I can assure you. But surely all that commotion caused the crewman to come in, didn't it? Yes, of course. He burst in immediately without knocking. The inspector hurled himself at the stocky fellow and just managed to slip past him to make his escape. The outstanding guard does it again. Luckily, there aren't many situations I can't get out of using a quick Ippon Seoi throw. I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. It has nothing to do with his murder. It's obviously what I gotta object to, but the way you wrote that made me think of Doodle Bob. Just Doodle Bob writing that. The crown snapped off the glass covering of the glass covering the face of the watch was cracked. Oh my god. Referable to the man's head being pulled off or his spine cracking, wouldn't you say? Not that the man was spared for long. A bullet to the chest soon saw that. But the point is, the broken pocket watch doesn't prove that the murder took place. Absolutely not. All the watch proves is the power of my jujutsu throw. Whatever you say, it doesn't quite ring true that no shot was fired in that cabin. Because there was an obvious bullet hole in the wall. Oh, yo. What are you talking about? That's what the star of your lowbrow detective stories told you, is it? Well, I don't care for such fiction. Haven't you worked it out yet, you little stripling? No murder took place in my cabin. The inspector was clearly killed having returned to Britain because his body was found in London.
Hold it!
But there's no evidence that proves the victim ever returned to London alive. Just take a moment to think that idea of yours through now, stripling. What? If this inspector wasn't killed on the steamship in France, how on earth could he have got back to Britain? With a fridge. When people die, they... Oops, the body... Okay, well then, obviously the couple must have moved the body. How exactly? Carrying a corpse off a ship in your arms would raise a few eyebrows at least, don't you think? Well, yes, that's true, but... all passenger luggage is inspected when it is unloaded from arriving vessels. And I would like to think the border police would query the corpse of an English gentleman as hand luggage. If the murder had taken place aboard the ship, you would imagine the body would have been disposed of at sea. There would be no sense in risking being caught by attempting to transport the body back to Britain. Let's kill that idea, then. But perhaps not, Mr. Sato. Okay, we've heard that the first-class passengers were under constant scrutiny by the crewmen posted to guard them, which should mean that the culprit had no opportunity to dispose the body at sea. Yes, that's true. So transporting the body to Britain may have been the only viable alternative. Dear me, you really are new to this, aren't you? No, I'm not. It's a fridge, bro. I thought it'd been perfectly clear, but it seems I'm going to have to explain it in words that you can understand. I think I ought to alter my testimony. Thank you. Thank you. Please do, so I can fuck you. And not in a good way. You can't breathe? Why? There's no possible way I could have transported the victim's corpse back to Britain. No, that's wrong! Because of this fridge. I don't have a fridge. Because of the sword! Man, why can't I just have a fridge in my goddamn court record? That would be so helpful right now. Alright, whatever.
Hold it!
There's an idea. Think about it, stripling. All passengers and crew members disembark... All passengers and crew disembark at the same time and pass through the same checks at the border. The symposium guests were then driven straight to the hotel in carriages organized by the ministry. You know, you could have quoted it too, Taco, if you really, I guess you were too shook to. Gotcha. And we met you as soon as you arrived at the hotel. So you did. Well then, remind me. Did I have a corpse over my shoulder at the time? Yeah, you did actually. You had a big ass bag. What? No. Could she? Yeah, everyone who has over 300 hours can quote. By default. Yes, Taco's actually been here a lot in the last 6 months or so. So we're in agreement then. I couldn't possibly have brought the inspector's body back to Britain. Unless, of course, they develop some clever device these days to instantly move things from A to B. You thought she had, like, just under 300? Yeah, that was about 50 hours ago. Yeah, you were right about that. Oh, man. Unless I'm going to... Okay, yeah. Funny you should say that. Professor Hairbrain's invention didn't actually work, if you remember, Miss Naruto. Yes, of course. Hey, that's me! Papa Guy, you just been lurking? I respect it. You have 335 hours. Damn, dude. Damn, dude! The defense has been unusually quiet, I notice. Yes, because there's really nothing more to say. You're about to hit 1,400 hours, Chocobo. 1,400, bro! Alright. Okay. You're still the only person who has Maltose Alien, bro. God damn. 7TV keeps inserting legs into messages. Wait, what? What? Alright, anyways.
Hold it!
No, I didn't mean to press it. I was trying to press the present. Why does press and present spelled the same? God damn it, bro. Alright. Okay. Oop. Alright. This thumbs up is boring. Boring. Alright, what do we have here that looks like a fridge? Or maybe I'm thinking too far ahead. Maybe we should look for something that isn't a fridge, such as a not fridge. Oh wait, I gotta look at this picture. He has a big ass case, bro. He has the trunk that he put himself in. Yo, this man screwed himself. Collab. You can type it. I actually for once did a fucking YouTube video without just myself in it and an actual other person in it. What's 7TV with the leg? Also, hi, door. Boring. Oh, it's fucking Zorro. Oh, shit. Anyways. Who? Yeah, Maltosabot. It was actually Taco here in chat, who is a VTuber. So I hung out with I hung out with the real anime girl. I'm such an accomplishment. Anyways. Boom.
Protection.
What a chat. So was it actual people? What? I'm confused. Je suis confus. You said I played games with actual people. Are you trying to tell me that VTubers are not real people? Taco, I didn't expect this coming from you, okay? VTubers are people. You gotta give them respect. I still don't get it, honestly. Anyways. There's no possible way you could have moved Inspector Gregson's body, you say? I would say the opposite is true. You guys are like assuming that I remember what I've said 5 seconds ago, and that's a really, really bold claim, okay? And what's that supposed to mean? Far from being impossible for you to do. The transporting of Inspector Gregson's body back to Britain is something only you can do. What are you talking about, Ryunosuke? As well as being a judge, Mr. Jigoku is also a Japanese Minister of Foreign Affairs. Which means he's exempt from having his luggage searched when he enters the country. We learned that when we first met upon your arrival in London. Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took a rather lot of time. I must say I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Ah, I knew you were jealous. I presume you recall this, Judge Goku? It's a photograph we took in the foyer of the hotel to mark the occasion. As the court will note, you will have with you your large travel trunk. Large enough, in fact, to have a corpse inside. No, though, surely you're not suggesting... Yeah, we were just hanging out with the corpse that whole time. I'm afraid I am, yes. 3 days ago, when we were chatting innocently with the new arrivals from Japan in the hotel, the body of Inspector Gregson was just meters away from us, inside Judge Jigoku's trunk. Judge Goofy. Order. Order. Or in court. I'm skeptical, counsel, that a grown man's body could fit inside even the largest travel trunk. It could, because I happen to know that the witness himself, a man of considerable size, fits inside his trunk. And verifying that would be extremely simple, wouldn't it, Judge Goku? But inside his trunk, how horrifying! And after we'd spoken with you at the Great Waterloo Hotel, you had the opportunity to visit the apparent scene on Fresno Street. Taking your trunk with you in a cab to deposit the inspector's body. I don't have to listen to this nonsense. Dr. Gorey, the coroner who examined the body, has confirmed the possibility. She's acknowledged that there are signs that the steps may have been taken to disguise the true time of death. The onset of the body's decomposition could be delayed by storing it in a refrigerator. Counsel, as I remember explaining yesterday, refrigerators of the requisite size are few and far between. Yes, I'm sure they are. But one place they're certainly found is on large ocean liners. Such ships are equipped with electrically refrigerated cold rooms to keep food fresh on their long sea voyages. And the SS Grouse is no exception. Finally, they mentioned the fridge! Professor Mikotomo told me about it only yesterday, while Judge Goku. However much you prolong this debate, you can't eliminate the truth. All the evidence points to you being the killer. Alright, now he's gonna laugh again, isn't he? Well, this is very heartening. I can see that it was a wise move, letting Asogi and you embark on this study tour. What are you talking about now? Logical reasoning, of course. All court proceedings will be built on logical reasoning in the new century. And I can see that you've both laid firm foundations for that already. Judge Goku, please stop diverting attention from the issue at hand. The defense has made an accusation against you. How do you respond? Respond? There's really no need for me to respond, is there? Why ever not? Because before you can even begin to answer the question of when the victim was killed, you must first establish one key fact. Where was the victim killed? It's quite logical. The actual scene of the crime. The prosecution's stance is unaltered. The killing took place on Fresno Street when the gunshot was heard. As the accused, Barack Van Zeke shot the victim at point-blank range. Since no tangible evidence exists to disprove the prosecution's claim at this time, the defense's deductions amount to little more than an elaborate fairy tale. I'm afraid that's how the logical reasoning the British are known for really works, young stripling. The victim was shot in that little room on Fresno Street and died instantly. I'm afraid that it's the prosecution's claim that's the only fairy tale here. Ooh! Ooh! The man stood up for himself! How can you say that? Quite simply, I used my voice. Because that claim directly contradicts a certain piece of evidence in our possession. Very tantalizing, counsel. I think you'd better explain yourself to the court, don't you? The prosecution claims that Inspector Gregson died instantly when he was shot at the scene on Fresno Street. But this evidence clearly contradicts that claim. Wait, what am I contradicting? Wait. What? This? Huh? I did it, didn't I, Taco? I didn't realize I did that. Bro. Just like... Huh? How do I prove that he didn't die instantly? Hold on. Man, I'm not understanding here. I'm contradicting...
Boom.
that he died instantly on Fresno Street. But how...
Whee!
Bone wee. Is it this? The Gregson trunk existing? Is Does that somehow do anything for me? I don't think it does. Does he look like he was trying to do something when he was a corpse? Huh? What the f... Man. Man, dude, man. Alright. You know, a wise person once told me, I have 5 lives, I can live a little. You know, even a wiser person told me, I have 4 lives, I can live a lot.
Take that!
Fuck. Japanese really are curious, B, to proffer an argument such conviction only to present such nonsensical evidence. Perhaps my Japanese forensic and inexplicable thinking is why people talk of the mystique of the East. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm not the only Japanese around here. Do you even have a mirror? The court is not interested in the mystique of anything. You will be penalized accordingly. The victim was the victim killed in the room in Fresno Street, or was he moved there after his death? There's only one piece of evidence that we've shown that shows the answer to that question surprisingly clearly. Perhaps you should try to present the correct one this time, then, Mr. Naruto. Yeah? Are you going to try again, or can't you hold your hand steady enough to point it out? Prosecutor, okay. Was it the candle? What did I conclude? No, wait, the candle was like hooked up to explosives for whatever reason. It's a whole other level of bullshit that happened in this fucking case. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah, because the gunshot wasn't actually a shot, right? Or did we only not conclude that? Or did we just say that was... What the hell am I doing? What am I doing? Because we concluded there wasn't actually a gunshot there, right? It was just a firecracker? Is that what I'm doing? Am I overthinking this? Probably.
Take that!
God damn it. But I guess they're claiming that even though that makes sense logically, nothing still has disproven the very likelihood of him being shot actually, and this is all just being bullshit theories, I'm guessing. Bro, I don't fucking know. Oh wait, hold on. No. Oh, was it this? Wait, no. No. I don't think this is it either. Is it? No. I just presented the firecracker. Should I present the candles? Does that make more sense? Alright, might as well. I don't have any other ideas.
Take that!
Nope. Both of them are wrong. Well, guys, you guys ready for a game over? Well, clearly the one thing that makes absolutely no sense. Well, buy yourself another life. Thank you for the 50 bits, Taco. Okay. Wait, hold on. Doesn't help me. That didn't help me at all. Okay. Your ghosts with hats are on season? Oh, you're right. They're, you see? They're finally, guys, my notification's finally relevant to the current situation. For bits. It's all according to plan. All according to plan. It must be Yamcha? Maybe that's what I gotta present. I gotta present Yamcha. You're right. I gotta present Yamcha, bro. My secret evidence. I knew it. I didn't see it before. It's right there in front of me. All right.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
All right, dude, I don't know at all what the fuck it's trying to tell me to do. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. Turn the three-pronged fork? You mean the candles? I already did that. Alright. YOLO.
Take that!
Ow. Well, we've taken out 4 possibilities, guys. I really hate how long the game over sequence is in this game, but I guess that's what the punishment is. Boom. Boom, boom. Alright, we got 5 whole lives again. Perfect. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Wow, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom.
Take that!
Not guilty.
Take that!
Well, eventually this is gonna do something for me. This is eventually gonna do something for me, guys. It's gonna be crazy. Y'all gonna be so hyped, bro. When I first try this shit. God damn, you know what I'm saying? Why the wig? Look, okay. I don't know. You might as well just... You know what? Maybe I should just ask you to tell me what it is, because at this point I'm guessing everything, because I have no more ideas. And that would save a lot of time here. Bam. Bam, bam. Bam. Bam, bam. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam. Bam. Bam, bam. Bam. Bam, bam. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam. Bam. Bam, bam. Pikachu, you can tell me what it is. I've given up entirely. I've given up entirely. I do not have a logical chain in any way. Bam. Bam, bam. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Because if not, I'm just going to be guessing everything. Crime scene photo? Wait, so it really is this? Wait. What? Is that that is the crime scene photo, right?
Take that!
First try. A photograph of the man. Wait, did I say that like the first time before I didn't even present it? I don't know. I kind of feel like I was zooming at this shit like, did he look? Oh yeah, I was like, does he look like he was doing something that wasn't instantly dead? Yeah, that's probably what it was. Anyways, doesn't matter. A photograph of the victim in the very location you claim he wasn't killed. Yes, but the point is the posture of the body itself. What? If Inspector Gregson had been shot there in the room, it's out of the question that his body would have been curled up in a ball like this. What? Huh? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your logic is flawed. You could easily have adopted that fetal position. Fetal position? Is this also Old English? Really, my logic was, oh, he's in fetal position, therefore he clearly didn't die instantly, because he was probably wincing in pain. Was that really the logic I was supposed to find here? God damn it, man. Okay, anyways. Also, yes. Man, I would have... Due to the pain of the shot, which subsequently proved fatal. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Judge Jigoku, but it's your logic that is flawed. What? According to the autopsy report, the victim died instantly. He would have felt no pain, much less have been able to draw himself in that position. Ah! Which begs the question of why the victim's body curled up in that way. Though the answer should be abundantly clear by now. You're suggesting... The inspector's body took on that posture ahead of its arrival in Fresno Street, before it was coldly turned out on the floor from the inside of a very large travel trunk. No, you're quite right. Oh yeah, maybe he rigor mortised into the shape of a fucking... Damn! Wait, hold up. I'm starting to see why this is kind of an interesting point. It looks exactly as if he would have been kept in a confined space. Judge Jigoku, present your trunk for examination. Hi, Malzy. I believe it's very possible that it will contain traces of the victim's blood. Damn! Jigoku sounds a lot like Phoenix Wright. Present my trunk. I refuse. I know I wouldn't be able to logic like that either, but it's crazy. What? On what grounds? I'm the Minister of Foreign Affairs from the Empire of Japan. I shouldn't have to put up with this treatment just because of some stripling's baseless accusations. In other words, Judge Jigoku, there's blood in your trunks. I decline to answer that. As the Minister of Foreign Affairs, I have privileges that allow me to... At this moment, you're not a government minister. You're a witness in a trial in Britain's highest court. I don't care who you are or what your status outside this courtroom might be. You will not withhold information. Nothing is more important than the truth. Warg. It all comes back to the fore. Order in court. Well, Mr. Jigoku, what's it to be? You can't be serious. You did it? Have you no shame at all, Kazuma Sogi? Different collab. That is another collab that I need to make a video for. Yes. What? Very well, I admit it. I did bring the inspector's body into the country. Inside my trunk, exactly as postulated by the defense. Oh, now he's gonna be like, but I'm not the one who killed him. I only delivered his body. Can you prove I'm the one who killed him? Loser. That's what he's gonna say. What? Dear God, outrageous. So it was you. You admit to Inspector Gregson's No, I admit to nothing more than what I've said. Of killing the man, I certainly have no recollection. What on earth is that cryptic statement supposed to mean? I merely disposed of the inspector's body, which was left in my cabin, in order to avoid unwanted attention. As the judicial assistant over there pointed out, I had no chance to throw it into the ocean. Yeah, but why did you specifically choose Fresno Street? Huh, bitch? Bitch ass? You can't still deny it. If you didn't do it, then who on earth did kill the man? As you know, there was one other person in my cabin that night. He had the opportunity. And moreover, he'd already accepted a mission. Oh my god, he's gonna say Kazuma did it? Wow, what a plot twist. Oh. This guy's gonna really break the fucking witness stand, bro. That's right, who else could it have been? It was you, Kazuma Impact. You... I never thought you'd stoop to this, Seishiro Jigoku. You've taken the words straight out of my mouth. Prosecutor Kazuma Impact. You thought by leaving the body in my cabin you could pin the crime on me, did you? Well, the prosecution's counsel has already admitted to visiting the witness's cabin on the night in question. Yes, on an assassination mission, no less. You wouldn't. Throw each other under the bus simulator? So what do you make of that, young stripling? You've heard my testimony now, and that's all I have to say on the matter. I'll admit to nothing more. I don't believe it. But is no one going to ask why he chose Fresno Street of all places? No? Counsel for the defense, what is your position now? The court awaits your response to the witness's assertion. The assertion that on the night in question, the victim's assailant was in fact Mr. Kazuma Asogi. This isn't the dead end it seems to be. The answer's right in front of me. It comes down to Jigoku or Kazuma. Both of them had the opportunity to kill Gregson, but only one of them did it. And I'm just a step away from proving who. Very well. The defense is ready to respond to the assertion put forward by Judge Jigoku. The idea that the victim's murder could have been committed by Prosecutor Asogi is... impossible, because he was wearing white, and his suit does not look like it's stained red. Hey, got him! It is possible, though. Because I can't really disprove either way. I'm gonna press it. Guys, I'm gonna press it. If I get it wrong, fuck it. Well, it is possible, my lord. What? How could you? Do you think I want to believe it? But the fact is, I can't say with complete certainty what actually happened, because I wasn't there. You disappoint me, Ryunosuke. If I may, Miss Naruto. I think perhaps that's why we form opinions based on evidence. Ah, so true. And actually, we have evidence that can settle this argument conclusively. Oh. Did I just take damage for this shit? Before you plow on, feigning ignorance of what just occurred, counsel. Damn, he's not letting me go. You must be penalized for that short but embarrassing you uttered a moment ago. I really thought I could just brush past it if I was quick enough. Never mind the penalty, Mr. Naruhodo. The truth is all that matters. Judge Shigoku, let me remind you of something you said only a few minutes ago. You claim that logical reasoning is the future of the judicial process. It is, no question. Well, logical reasoning can prove something here. Something here, namely that it would have been impossible for Prosecutor Asogi to commit the crime. What? Exclamation mark? The court will only accept an argument that is supported by compelling evidence. So present what you have, counsel. What proof is it that allegedly demonstrates the impossibility of Prosecutor Asogi's involvement? The sword? And the fact that he would never use a gun? Because it's dishonor to his family? Is that it? You know, just in case. I mean, this music playing right now makes me feel like presenting a sword, you know? It's a sword kind of song. That's my logic. You guys like my logic? This is my resolve. This is my resolve as Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Take that!
It just shut. The entire orchestra just stopped. God damn it! You're making the evidence weep here, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Sorry, every piece of evidence has a role to play in arriving at the truth. Not playthings you can just toss around the courtroom for entertainment. And I'm dead. Anyways, we wasted enough time. He's dead. Alright. Great. What a great resolve. Uh-huh. Yeah. Alright. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Very cool, dude. They really don't let me skip the game over scene. Every time it plays, I have to go through the text slowly. Thank you so much, game, for this wonderful punishment. Alright. Thank you. Anyways, so bad. I'll try for a little bit before I cheat Pikachu. I've got 5 whole lives. Alright. The reason why it was impossible is because I am Kazuma Asogi. No, the reason why it was impossible is because he was too busy claiming his last will. No, the real reason was
Take that!
God damn it! Never mind the evidence, you're about to make me weep, Miss Naruhodo. I cannot set Susato-san or I'll end up being upset too. We know a member of the crew was on sentry duty outside the first-class cabins nearly all the time. So as long as the guard was there, it would have been impossible to fire a shot without it being heard. And that very much narrows down when the crime could have been committed. Huh? What? What? The hell are you talking about? What the frick are you... He's not a crew member? So that he wouldn't be stopped by this evacuation drill itinerary? Unless I'm just totally off the mark again. Okay. So what? You want this again?
Take that!
Yeah, okay, Okay, dude. This itinerary for the crew members of the SS Grouse, my lord, this is conclusive proof. An itinerary? How does that prove anything? Judge Goku, the moment you acknowledge that you found the victim's body in your cabin,
What the hell are you talking about?
this itinerary suddenly becomes much more significant. What? What the hell are you talking about? On the night in question, as always, a crew member sentry was on guard outside your cabin door. As long as he was there, nobody could have fired a shot inside the cabin. Absolutely, because it's inconceivable the guard wouldn't have heard it and come to investigate. So that tells us that the crime must have taken place when the guard was elsewhere. And that narrows it down to the 20 minutes after, just after 10 o'clock as indicated on the itinerary. Yes, I see no flaw in your reasoning so far. But the crucial point is this. When the evacuation drill took place, the steamship has already put to sea from the port of Dunkirk. Ah. Now, clearly the murder could only have been committed by somebody who was aboard the vessel at the time. But Prosecutor Asogi stated in yesterday's proceedings, I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life, so I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in the town and returned to England the following morning. Which I'm sure the court will agree is conclusive proof that Kazuma Asogi couldn't possibly have carried out the killing. Okay, I totally forgot he even mentioned that shit, bro. I literally did not remember that he said he got off the ship and went and slept in some random ass house for a day. And that was not on my evidence anywhere, dude. God damn it, man. No, absolutely not. I don't accept that at all. What do you mean? The boy's just saying that to exonerate himself. We can't really trust that he disembarked the vessel. Yeah, but you can check the fucking boarding house logs, right? Obviously, after he left my cabin, he hid himself somewhere near the ship. Just waiting for his chance to come back and finish the... No, that's out of the question. Isn't it, Kazuma? As the defense rightly recalls, I disembarked the vessel and spent the night in a boarding house in Dunkirk. And as I said yesterday, I signed my name in the accommodations register book. All extremely easy to verify, undeniable proof. No, There's no escape this time. You can forget that you're a judge or a government minister. It's time you gave the court an honest answer, as a common man. Don't break it! He's gonna break it. No, he's about to... Guys, he's about to break it. You killed Inspector Tobias Gregson and transported his corpse back to Britain. And then you dumped the body in the room on Fresno Street and made it look as if a murder had happened there. So it really happened, isn't it? Seishio Jigoku. He's about to do a Malt Angie. It was that damn trial 10 years ago. That's when all this began. Looking back now, my fate was decided that day. I was doomed already. Ah! Not again, bro. It's over! My life is over! He really just anti-grabbed that shit, bro. A British assassin to eliminate a professor in Japan. A Japanese assassin to eliminate a detective in Britain. Both assassins will use diplomatic immunity to evade conviction and return safely to their homelands. The assassin exchange request arrived from Britain about 1 year ago. Though it was hardly a request, it was a demand. And for that, you decided to recruit Mr. Asogi. But things didn't go according to plan. Your chosen assassin never made it to Britain. And you found yourself unable to dispatch a replacement, because I was already on my way to Britain at the time, in Kazuma's place. And that left me with only one option for carrying out my obligation: to eliminate the mark myself, personally. Of course, there was but a single opportunity for me to do that. The International Forensic Science Symposium, I presume. That's right. I decided it would be safest to carry out the plan before my arrival in Britain, so I enlisted the help of my British counterpart. I had made arrangements for a pretext that would take the inspector to Dunkirk. To lure the man in, he was given a sham mission by the Reaper. What? The Reaper? But there's only one person who could have done that. The mastermind of the entire operation. The Reaper himself. So, that means that the assassin exchange was planned by the Reaper? I'm not at liberty to say anything about my British counterpart. Well, you just said that your British counterpart is the Reaper then. You straight up just said that he was the Reaper. Didn't you just say that basically right now, that the Ministerial Foreign Affairs of Britain is the Reaper? No? Okay. Alright.
No.
Anyway, the inspector accepted the Reaper's mission and dutifully infiltrated my cabin on the steamship. But it was all a trap designed to lead him to France and his own death. Oh, how awful. It was past 9 o'clock when I returned to my cabin from the dining hall that evening. I didn't give him time to attack me. I choked him until he lost consciousness. But there was a guard just outside the door. So I left it at that for the time being. Even the slightest noise might have aroused suspicion. So I bided my time waiting. For the 20 minutes after the 10 o'clock. I had intended to finish him by strangulation, but moments before I had the chance, he suddenly came around and went for me in a reckless move. I'd received the British issue gun 16 years earlier, being a member of the judiciary as a visiting student. I never imagined I'd have to use it for something like this. I said that and this at the same time. So, the revolver belongs to you, does it? And the victim was killed inside your cabin on the SS Grouse, which begs the question of why you arranged for his body to be discovered in the room on Fresno Street. The young judicial assistant over there has already answered that question. There was no way I could take the body up on deck to throw it over the side. That's precisely where all the crewmen were gathered for the evacuation drill. So before the first-class cabin sentries returned, I took the corpse to the refrigeration room. And then on arriving in Dover, you concealed the body in your trunk in order to smuggle it past the border police. I knew I needed to take steps if the police were to be convinced when the body was found in London. In that case, you must have known. You must have had intimate details of Inspector Gregson's intended schedule. Yes, my British counterpart sent me everything I needed to know. No, not really, because you don't know who the Reaper is still. The inspector was due at Fresno Street at 5 o'clock that afternoon in order to meet a man by the name of Hugh Boone, from whom he would take back his police identification. I decided that man would be the perfect person to set up as the culprit. So I took a hackney carriage over there with the body still in my trunk. That must have been just after we took this photograph with you at the hotel then. You don't know who you are either? It's true.
I might be the Reaper.
Yes, I wasn't expecting a welcoming committing. I was a little more than nervous. On Fresno Street, I spotted a young girl selling little firecrackers. Oh, I know her. Miss Venus, of course. I conceived of the candle trick there, and then I donned a simple disguise and approached the girl to buy enough firecrackers to replicate a gunshot. What sort of disguise? For some reason, the inspector had a bright red hairpiece for his own traveling case, so I put that on. Although I suspect I drew more attention to myself than I would have otherwise. The hairpiece we found at the scene. This guy is explaining everything! The inspector had it all ready for the Red-Headed League investigation. I only arrived at the room at around 4:45. So I quickly placed the body on the floor, moved the notice board and set up my little candle trick. I arranged that the firecrackers would go off with a bang around 15 minutes later. So that Mr. Boone, who was due to arrive at 5, would walk straight into a trap. Except, at the last moment, I made a careless blunder. What was that? I imagine it was the bag of fish and chips. I didn't notice that it had fallen out of his overcoat pocket when I moved the body to the refrigeration room. I put it back into his pocket the following morning, but... well, it seems the warmth of the heated cabin had accelerated the decay of the fish. Anyway, That's everything. All the sordid details of what I did. I've heard enough. We've arrived at the truth about the murder of one of the country's most capable and respected police inspectors. Why? The witness will be tried in the coming days. For a crime of such a vile nature, you can expect the most severe penalty.
Objection!
An exchange of assassins, what a foolhardy idea. Mr. Jigoku, one last detail. Who is your counterpart in Britain? Who is the mastermind behind the assassin exchange? Nothing you can say now makes it matters any worse for you. Just I've already told you that I cannot say.
Stop with these idiotic jokes!
Even though as things
Stop with these idiotic jokes!
even though as things stand, you may very well never set foot in your homeland again. What are you waiting for? Can't we get this over with now? It's finished. All of it. Is he about to fucking commit seppuku? I'm finished. Then, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I now pronounce the findings of this court. This man before us is admitted to the willful murder of Tobias Gregson. Wait, what? Why did he still put it on guilty? Wait, what? I thought we were doing his trial later. What do you mean? How do you... You're not allowed to do that? Huh? I'm so confused. And may I remind all those present of the strict confidentiality demanded by this closed court. That's weird. What about... Moments ago, Mr. Jigoku signed a written confession.
Hold it!
Admitting to the murder of Inspector Gregson and subsequent conveyance of the body. In short, the defendant's innocence has therefore been established beyond doubt. Oh, wonderful. Well done, Miss Naruhodo. Yes, thank you. There's something wrong? Yeah, there is something wrong. I'm just a little troubled by his silence, the true identity of the Reaper of the Bailey, and this extraordinary assassin exchange. We do remain in the dark about these mysteries. However, insofar as the indictment has brought against the defendant in this trial, we have reached a conclusion. I have every intention of pursuing both mysteries as a prosecutor. As you wish. Now, for the formal adjudication. I hereby declare the defendant Barack Van Zeeks.
Objection!
Why did he object? Who the fuck just object? Oh, that was Kazuma. Sorry. I don't know why I forgot his name all of a sudden. The prosecution calls for the adjudication to be deferred. The counsel. The accused's innocence hasn't been fully established at all. And therefore, it would be wrong to deliver a verdict at this time. That is the prosecution's unwavering position. What? But Judge Jigoku has already confessed. Nevertheless, Barack Van Zeeks has committed crimes for which he must be punished. Well, it would appear that you have information that the court needs to hear, Prosecutor Hosogi. Certainly, the murder of Inspector Gregson was actually carried out by Seishiro Jigoku, but it's clear from the witness's testimony that he was coerced into complying with the plot, into the sick, merciless assassin exchange. That may be true, but... So what I want to know is, who coerced Jigoku? Who was pulling the strings? The victim went to France having been ordered on a mission for the Reaper, only to be murdered. In other words, The mastermind behind the assassin exchange is someone in a position to give such an order. As we've already established, the Reaper himself. Well, certainly that would appear to follow. The prosecution hereby formally accuses the man in the dock, Barak Van Zeeks, of being the Reaper of the Bailey, and furthermore, I'm going to prove his guilt beyond all reasonable doubt. What? Wah! Order. The Reaper of the Bailey. There's a long-standing mystery, Council. Are you suggesting you have some new information with which to build a case? Scotland Yard has already investigated Lord Van Zeeks very thoroughly in that regard, and they found no evidence whatsoever to substantiate the claim that he is the Reaper. Perhaps, but circumstances have now changed. What do you mean? It's already been established that the assassin exchange was negotiated with the Jigoku by the Reaper himself, which means we now have a new line of questioning, by which to identify definitively the man's identity. That is the prosecution's intention here. I must say I'm surprised by quite how tenaciously you appear to want to besmirch my name. You are guilty of an unforgivable crime, Lord Van Zeeks. And I will bring you to justice for it, whatever it takes. That explains Kazuma's silence before. He'll stop at nothing to finish what Lord Van Zeeks unwittingly started 10 years ago. He does look like he's drum rolling. Very well, whilst it's extremely irregular. I will on this occasion grant the prosecution further opportunity for witness testimony. The defendant will disclose any and all involvement he has had with the Reaper and the assassin exchange. I thank you, my lord, for guiding the court so wisely. I hereby declare this court to be in session for a supplementary hearing. Okay, this is interesting. God damn, this guy took out his wine bottle immediately. Pray turn a blind eye to the discourtesy as I verify that this vile and unremitting accusation hasn't soured the contents of my hollow chalice. Lord Van Zeeks, I first had to suffer the pseudonym of the Reaper 10 years ago now. And ever since then, that time, I've endured the weight and implied guilt that's gone with it. So, I welcome the chance to testify now, and crush those allegations once and for all. Good. Then let justice decide, Lord Van Zeeks. The prosecution seeks to begin building its case by calling the accused to the stand as its primary witness, in order that he may answer the accusation brought by the prosecution that he is the Reaper of the Bailey. And what says the defense? Putting the defendant in the witness stand can be extremely dangerous. And Kazuma-sama's so emotional at the moment, he's not thinking logically. You're right that he's not himself, but I knew it would be like this. And I came here today to determined to face him through whatever might arise. As a lawyer, and as his friend. Then that's what we must do. The defense has no objection, my lord. Very well. Defendant, you will take the witness stand, and will give formal testimony on the subject of your involvement with the Reaper, and the assassination exchange. As you wish, my lord. The Reaper and the assassin exchange. I've never taken the life of another, nor have I instructed another to kill. I've been investigating the truth behind the Reaper for years, and I was aware of Gregson's involvement. That's the reason why I went to Fresno Street that day, and how I came to discover the body. The point is, no common thread exists between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson. Clearly, therefore, there's no reason to suspect me of being behind the assassin exchange. Wait, but that means if I'm trying to get a contradiction here, I'm trying to get him to say that he does have a problem? Uh-oh. So you deny all accusations about the prosecution, but that you are the Reaper of the Bailey, and that you're the mastermind. You mastermind the assassin exchange. I acknowledge that the public at large believe me to be the Reaper. However, that's a fallacy, which I alone am in a position to forswear. Naturally, the prosecution believes the testimony just given by the accused to be untrue. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Yes? Let me ask you, why are you here? What really brings you to this courtroom? A desire to uncover the truth, even if the truth proves your client to be guilty. From all my experiences in this courtroom, I've come to realize something. The truth can't be hidden. Sooner or later, it will come out. So it's always my intention to work with my client in the pursuit of the truth. I want you to remember what you just said. Enough dilatory chatter. Counsel for the defense proceeds to cross-examine the witness. Yes, my lord. I know exactly what you're thinking. Kazuma, I know you're just waiting to point it out. The contradiction you're convinced lies somewhere within this man's testimony. Okay, I've never taken the life of another, nor have I instructed another to kill. Been investigating the truth behind the Reaper for years, and I was aware of Gregson's involvement. That's the reason why I went to Fresno Street that day and how I can discover the body. The point is, no common thread exists between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson. Okay. What about your boy Herlock Sholmes, though? He's kind of a common thread between all three of them. Okay, I don't know which one is the contradiction. I'm gonna press this statement.
Hold it!
Got a good feeling about this statement. There's a link between you and Gregson, though. Of course, we were close acquaintances. We had worked on numerous cases together. I consider the man to be a mentor of sorts. He taught me a number of important lessons. He did? Such as what? Where to buy good fish and chips, and such like. Well, that was convincing. Dr. Wilson was a coroner, of course, but that was some time in the past. And in any case, I can understand it was several years ago that he was invited to work at a Japanese university. That's right. He was a visiting professor at the Imperial Yume University in Tokyo. It should be unambiguously clear then that no link exists between myself and him. In other words, I had no motive for sending some assassin across the oceans to kill the man. It sounds plausible enough, and I want to believe it, but something about this doesn't quite sit right with me. Alright, so clearly this was the statement that was fucked up for whatever reason. Now, why was it fucked up for whatever reason? Wait, I know why. John H. Wilson, Clint Van Zeeks. Gregson is the one who made this happen. Alright.
Objection!
What is this, an autopsy report? Wait, this is 10 years old. From the autopsy of Lord Clint Van Zeeks. What? My brother's autopsy report? I'm pleased to see. The defense doesn't intend to run from the undeniable truth. Order in court. What reason do you have for presenting a 10-year-old autopsy report to your counsel? The autopsy report of the professor's final victim is an indelible link between Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson, and the defendant. Not that accursed name again, the professor. I personally researched all of the court records relating to that case. I know that at the time, autopsy was considered sacrilege to the victim's souls. And for the member of the aristocracy like Lord Clint Van Zeeks, it was unthinkable. But someone implored the powers that be to allow the autopsy to go ahead, Inspector Gregson. He declared that he was certain that he would obtain conclusive proof from the procedures. And it was Dr. Wilson who conducted the autopsy. His signature is clearly visible on the document. As promised by Gregson, the autopsy did indeed produce evidence. Evidence that conclusively proved Genshin Impact, was guilty of the murders. In my brother's dying moments, he mustered all his remaining strength to leave that vital clue behind. Indeed, that was the key to indicting the professor for his crimes and the conclusive evidence that convicted him. It enabled Lord Van Zieks here to avenge his brother's senseless death with a marvelous victory in court. A marvelous victory, was it? I wonder if that's really true. What? Could the same be said if it turned out the key piece of evidence in question was, in fact, fabricated? If the inspector, the coroner, and the prosecutor all colluded together to cast an innocent Japanese man as a mass murderer and send him to his death? That's outrageous. And now, 10 years later, for some reason the secret has been threatened and needs protecting, which is why the inspector and the coroner had to be silenced, isn't it? By someone in power in Japan and in Britain, using the two killers recruited for the assassin exchange. Order at what? 10 years ago, my father was convicted in this very courtroom as a mass murderer, to be sentenced to death. But it was all a sham, and I swore to myself that I'd prove it, which is why I had to come to Britain. Whatever the cost. You'll have to forgive me if I feel compelled to toast this vengeful Nipponese's tenacity of purpose here. However, he who fails to quash his emotions in the courtroom has failed as a lawyer. Come on, Kazuma, you know this won't wash. You're claiming your father was misrepresented in a trial that took place a whole decade ago. You must see that without evidence, that's nothing more than a wild accusation. As it happens, I have evidence. What? As the court has heard, I crossed the channel to France with Gregson on the 31st. I went with him on the pretext of being the assassin recruited to kill Seishiro Jigoku. But my true intentions were to make the inspector tell me the truth. What truth? The truth about the evidence. And he acknowledged what I'd already deduced. There's a closely guarded secret about what went on in that autopsy 10 years ago. What? A secret? I know nothing of any secret. While we waited for my supposed mark in Jigoku's cabin, I drew my clan's illustrious sword Karuma before the inspector's eyes. He very quickly understood what my true motive was. Right, I see. You're that Asogi's young lad, are you? And what? You're gonna cut me down with that thing? Is that it? That will very much depend on the answers you give my questions. I want to know what really happened 10 years ago. The truth, that's all. Before we get into it, let me make one thing clear. I still believe your father was a professor. There's no doubt in my mind. But unfortunately, back then, we didn't have the evidence we needed to make the crime stick. So, you admit it then. The evidence used in my father's trial was fabricated. It was for the good of the country. Anyway, I was just following orders. Orders? What exactly did you do? Speak! Not saying another word. Even if your life depends on it. That's right. Even then. Shing. So that's when the tip of the sword broke. Oh, Kazuma-sama. If the results of Clint Van Ziek's autopsy were fabricated, then the investigating officer Gregson and the lead coroner Wilson must have known about it. And they can only have been ordered to pervert the course of justice in that way by one man. The man leading the case for the prosecution, Barak Van Zieks. In other words, the defendant did have a cause to organize this exchange of assassins. Exactly. And as was established earlier, it has to have been the Reaper himself who liaised with Jigoku in Japan to arrange the exchange. Ah. So it follows that the Reaper's true identity can only be that of the man who stands accused in this courtroom today, Barack Van Zeeks. This man is standing. Everybody's standing.
Objection!
Wait a minute. When did the hell they repair the witness stand? I just realized that. When did they do that? Yeah, he wasn't the original prosecutor though. The guy, the judge. Are we about to send the judge to court? Is he going to guilty himself? Kazuma Impact. What? What you've just told the court. Are you absolutely certain of your facts? Did Gregson really fabricate evidence for that trial 10 years ago? I heard it with my own eyes. I mean, what did I just say? I heard it with my own ears, his shameful admission. In that case, I know. The name of the Reaper. What? Lord Van Zeeks? Hearing with eyes. Look, okay? I gave no such orders, I know that for certain. Which narrows down the remaining possibilities to one. If Lord Van Zeeks isn't the one behind all this, then yes, there is only one other person who could have done something like that. I believe I know who it is, too. You. I just had a feeling this name was going to come up. Is it finally time? The true identity of the infamous Reaper of the Bailey is... Wait. Oh, here he is. Here's the Reaper of the Bailey, male Strongheart.
Take that!
The only person who could have arranged the assassin exchange and manipulated the autopsy results is Lord Chief Justice himself, Lord Male Strongheart. What? Lord Strongheart? In my own eyes. Yes, it's true that 10 years ago the defendant handled the prosecution of the professor in court, but he only took over the case after his brother, Lord Clint Van Zeeks, had been killed. I can only assume that this is the most inappropriate joke in British judicial history. Well, Lord Van Zeeks, 10 years ago, I was very new to my profession.
Nope.
And I had a burning desire to avenge my brother's death, so I pleaded for the control of the case. The investigation to that point, the supplication of the Lord to allow my brother's corpse to be examined, all the evidence I was given, the autopsy reports, it all came from you. I've spent my life since then believing that I was in your debt for the way you stood aside and let me handle the trial. But I see now. I was very much mistaken. It was a hugely influential force that caused Inspector in the Corner to break the law 10 years ago. That same force that still felt a decade later on the other side of the world, by Seishio Jigoku. Lord Strongheart, everything falls into place when we recognize that you are the Reaper of the Bailey. The court awaits your response, my lord. This may very well be go down in... Yeah, okay, I was waiting for that in chat. This may very well go down in British judicial history, but I assure you it is no joke. Consider this a formal accusal by the defense. It doesn't warrant a response. A formal accusal? Don't be absurd. The defense's claims are utter nonsense. A wild fantasy at best. You're not going to defend yourself. You claim there was some wrongdoing with Lord Clint Van Zeek's autopsy. That's utterly untrue.
Objection!
But I heard it from Gregson's own lips. He admitted to it. And where is your evidence? What? Gregson's dead now, unless you were thinking of summoning a ghost to this end. You mean to say... I forget how the system works in your little backwater country. But in the courts of the British Empire, without evidence, there is no case. I have no intention of entertaining some wild fantasy that can't possibly be substantiated by anyone or anything. There's Maya when we need her, true. Maybe this is when, Wait. Remember me? Yo, remember me, come back. Order in the court. Following Inspector Gregson's murder, and the light of Dr. Wilson's death as well. There's no one left who can testify about the events 10 years ago. Is there? So that was the real purpose of the assassin exchange.
Remember.
This court has no business raking over the coals of a case that was concluded a decade ago. The accusal brought by the prosecution and the defense is categorically denied. I take it there are no objections. Kazuma. He's more or less waited his whole life for this moment. Is there really nothing else we can do? Is there really no other avenue we can go down in pursuit of the truth about what happened all those years ago? If only there was someone who could testify about Clint Van Zeek's autopsy. There is someone. Always there is someone. He's gone to extraordinary lengths to cover his tracks, even so as far as dispatching an assassin all the way to Japan to ensure Dr. Wilson's silence. And Dr. Side won't say anything against Strongheart. But there's still one ray of hope.
Objection.
Who is it? I don't even know who I'm talking about. Actually, there is one person. One person who could still testify about that autopsy. Don't be ridiculous. There's no one left. Who, Ryunosuke? Who? Tell me. Kazuma-hai. Please, this trial can't end. Not yet. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for the truth. The person the defense would like to call to the stand to testify about the autopsy of Lord Clint Van Zeeks is... Was she technically there? I mean, she heard about stuff from Dr. Scythe, but... I don't... Wait. I don't know who the fuck they're talking about. Susato's dad? Is Mikotoba gonna be helpful in any way? Gregson? Dude, I can't send in a corpse yet. Okay, that technology isn't there yet in this universe. Is it Mikotoba? I mean, oh yeah, oh no, you're right. He helped with the coroning. Right? Because didn't Mikotoba help the entire time and then it was signed by Wilson? And that's why it was in his writing? Okay.
Take that!
Yeah, you're right. Whoever said that. Someone said it, right? Oh yeah, Susato's dad, Chocobo. Heaven help us, another Japanese. An expert in forensic medicine, my lord. Professor Eugene Mikotoba. 16 years ago. He came to London with Seishiro Jigoku and Genshin Impact as a visiting student. And what could his testimony possibly tell us? Professor Mikotoba was a primary assistant during the autopsy in question. He was also the person who actually penned the report. Incorrect. The autopsy was carried out by the coroner, Dr. Wilson. The report carries his signature. It was a primary assistant's duty to keep a written record of the coroner's work during the procedure. In actual fact, the coroner merely read over the report at the end and signed it. In other words, Professor Mikotoba witnessed the entire autopsy from start to finish. The defense demands that Professor Mikotoba be summoned as a witness as a matter of urgency. Whatever really happened in the autopsy laboratory 10 years ago is something only he can tell us. No, I'm the judge. Fuck you. This man can just say no. He can just deny everybody, bro. He's the judge. How are we gonna win?
Good
Man
job.
can just hammer us, bro. What? But Professor Mikotoba, he literally just went no. Wait. Everything we say, the fucking guy can just say no. And we can't do shit about that. He said one kid on the playground. Well, Professor Mikotoba is in London at this very moment. We could summon him to the stand in minutes. No, of course he's not going to agree to it. Strongheart has no intention of summoning anyone who knows. He's too concerned about protecting himself. Prosecutor Asogi, let me refresh your memory, as you seem to have forgotten the prosecution's stance. Only minutes ago you accused the defendant of being the reaper and of the masterminding the assassin exchange. I did, yes. So present your evidence for those claims, and make your case complete. At this time, I don't have the requisite evidence, but that's exactly why we need witness testimony. Don't make me hammer you with my unicorn, buddy. The professor case is closed. There are no clues in the distant past that will bolster your argument today. I'm afraid to say, Prosecutor Asogi, that you would appear to be possessed by the spirit of your late homicidal father. Now, as I stated earlier, this court has already reached a conclusion with respect to the matter at hand. Inspector Gregson was murdered by Japanese Supreme Court Judge Seishiro Jigoku, and for any hidden circumstance that may exist, they will be investigated in due course by the proper authorities.
Objection!
We all know what will happen. That'll just give the mastermind of the whole venture time to cover his tracks again. By which you mean me. Your punishment for this contemptible behavior will be decided at a later date. As for you, Prosecutor Asogi, you'll be remanded following these proceedings willingly, I trust, since you gave your word. This futile game of revenge is over, young Master Impactorino. And that will be all. I hereby declare this trial to be over. Court is... Mr. Sholmes? This is no place for amateur detection, Mr. Sholmes. May I remind you that these proceedings are closed to the general public. You will leave the courtroom at once. Mr. Sholmes was instrumental in the apprehension of Seishiro Jigoku before he fled from Europe. The court should hear what he has to say. I don't know how long you've been brushing your teeth for, Bentuatha. But the judge is a bitch, yeah, basically. Right now, the judge right now is clearly the Reaper of the Bailey. Lord Mail Strongheart, it's imperative that you refrain from bringing this trial to an end at this stage. Is it really? And why would that be? You need only recall your own words from the opening of the trial to answer that question, if I may. We will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings. Surely it can't be that the shock of being accused of being the Reaper yourself has erased that from your memory, can it? The whole truth, sir. It has already been uncovered. It would seem that we have a great many important members of the judiciary present here today. I put it to you, my dear fellows, should the trial end at this juncture? After all, why have you been invited to attend? To nod along to the prevarications of your superiors? No one's listening to his hammer. Order in the court! It seems to me that we stand before a door that leads to a new era of legal practices. A door that is ajar. That has emerged from the shadows of the Reaper's decade-long ascendancy. For you and you alone, my dear fellows, have the power to push this door open now. The auditors in the gallery have no right to express an opinion on court proceedings. Silence! He's right. The judge has absolute authority here. Yes, if he calls the trial to an end, it must end. But will that really do? I sense dark things occurring behind the scenes. Dark things indeed. Is there a single person here present who can honestly say he doesn't have... What? The trial should go on. Summon the witness. That's right. We need to clear this up before that young Japanese fellow is remanded in custody. My lord, you assured those present that you would uncover the whole truth here. Vindicate yourself of this outlandish accusation. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's the very foundation of British law. A toast to my dependable colleagues in the gallery. On with the trial! On with the trial! Chester. They're talking. Well, my lord. You hear the voice of the British Justice, I take it. I think you'll find it will be rather awkward to silence. The court will recess briefly. What? You can't do that. You're just gonna go like... Okay, get out of here. I have no intention of shrinking from these allegations. Oh, yeah? Bailiff, arrange for the subpoena of the witness at once. And as soon as the gentleman arrives in the courthouse, we shall reconvene. A recess won't be necessary, my lord. Pardon? Mikitoba is a close friend of mine. He accompanied me today and is waiting in the antechamber as we speak. I do believe he's been enjoying a little trip down memory lane, in fact. What? Professor Mikitoba's here in the courthouse? Mr. Sholmes, you didn't know this would happen, did you? My dear fellow, no one is in a better position to answer that question than you, surely. I wasn't just asking for the fun of it, you know. Well, I must thank you for your assistance in this matter, Mr. Sholmes. But unfortunately for you, I really need to go to the bathroom. I need to go to the little judge's room, so the recess must stand. You're of no further use here. Kindly leave the courtroom at once. But, of course, in truth, I find myself rather busy now as a result of these developments. Mr. Naruto? Yes? I trust you have Iris' little lucky charm with you. Absolutely. It's still in my pocket. She sends her regards and a reminder. If you find yourself at a dead end, the ears are at your disposal. Just one tug, if you please. Oh, of course. One tug, not many. In that case, the trial will continue without delay. Bailiff, show the witness to the stand. So, it's Lord Strongheart. He's the Reaper of the Bailey. Where exactly is his trial going to take me, I wonder? Just how deep am I about to be plunged into the blackness of the abyss? Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to head into the heart of this maelstrom. Ha! Because his name is Mael Strongheart. I get it! And confront whatever horrors it tries to drown me under. Boom! We're gonna continue this tomorrow. So if you guys don't want to miss the thrilling conclusion, be there tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Because I ain't continuing right now. I was hoping for that shit. God damn, what a cliffhanger. God damn, what a cliffhanger. Holy shit. God damn, man. Oh my god, dude. The fuck? That's just crazy. You made it when they're already passing out? Dude, that's good then. We'll literally conclude this game when everyone can be awake for it. Oh man, because I can actually start at 9 o'clock tomorrow, because they, for the first time ever, they gave me an early end on Wednesday where I could actually start my stream on a normal time. God damn, man. Oh yeah, dude, I'm excited. I'm so excited for this. All right, YouTube, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are just as into it as we are, because holy shit, this is great. Thank you guys so much for watching. I already said that. Okay, anyone want to say anything to YouTube? No? No? Anybody? Anyone want to say anything to YouTube? Bye? All right. Yeah. Yeah, what do you want to say? Oh. Hi. I'm trying to finish this week. Bye. Okay. Collab? True. I don't know if they're going to click the link in the fucking video, but you know, I respect it. All right, anyways, guys, oh, yo, I didn't even say bye to YouTube. I mean, I did. See you later.